So, 2 days after 7 cultists were killed and 3 villagers were rescued, the village of Blythewood, which all of you find yourself in, is happy they have a group of adventurers that can help them rid the area of evil corruption. No one is certain where they are from or of their true intentions, but the consensus in town is that whatever they are after is better than having cultists so close. The 3 villagers that were rescued have said little besides that they were taken at night and only remember muted chanting and the horrible smell of the small room that they found themselves in before being rescued. The woman, Mary, has opened her home to the group and has recovered quickly with the help of the party. She believes that today, Father Ben, a priest of Torm, will ask for help again from the heroes as the village has been speaking about what to do next. Later in the day, Mary is proven correct as Father Ben has amassed about 50 gold and with instructions on the whereabouts of the main cultist hideout. He fears that now that they have gone public with their findings, there is little time to waste and insists that if the heroes intend to help further and claim the reward, that they leave today. Father Ben provides a rough map that shows a 5-mile journey, 4 miles off the main path in the middle of the woods. None of you are familiar with the area. Oh, that's so funny, Grim. None of you are familiar with the area. That being said, the heroes of Blythewood have some time today to make their decisions and possibly add more to their group before leaving. So, Theater of the Mind is a concept where I'm not going to give you guys an actual place to play quite yet. I have those things set up, but at this point, I've set this setting. You can ask questions, and then ideally, you just play within this setting. So if you'd like to do something, let me know. You guys can say that there is a small sort of tavern type place in this town, but most of you have woken up in Mary's home. She has space for the 3 of you that have helped. Again, she's very grateful. She's provided food and lodging for the last 3 days. And now Father Ben has made it pretty apparent in public that the cultists are still within close proximity of the area and insists that they be taken out sooner than later. So you guys can take it from here.
So I got a stage setting question.
Okay.
So the priest of Torm, is he pretty? You said he's been pretty conspicuous about getting all of this desire to help out. So if I just like wander into town, would I see like something to know that there's a
not until today. I mean, so it's no secret that there are cultists in town. That was definitely sort of the news of the week when the current party sort of made their way out for various reasons and slaughtered basically some cultists and had a bit of a fight with the so-called leader of a small group that they found very close to town. However, now time has been spent to try and figure out like how do we rid the town of this area. And the main thing that Father Ben is concerned about is that now that the cultists are aware that they have been found out, that they might move or do a counterattack or have some type of evil plot prepared to the demise of the town itself. So basically now they are doing a call to arms for those that are interested. And Father Ben assumes that Observer, Royce, and Vemrak would help out this time, but obviously he's leaving that up to their decision.
Was there any mention of a reward?
Yes, 50 gold.
Damn, alright, I'm in.
Yeah, I definitely want to pursue this.
Okay.
Should we fool around in town and see if we can find any other able-bodied adventurers, see if they want to join us?
So
Are we all together at this point already?
Just the 3 of us. So Grim isn't here yet, right?
Yeah, so my guy Toto is basically he's a pretty conspicuous figure. He's a dude walking around in chainmail. He's got a warhammer on his belt. He's got a shield with a giant symbol of Torm on it, the god Torm. and he's just kind of milling about town right now because he had heard. Well, he's very conspicuously milling about town. I guess it's early, if it's morning, he would not go to the tavern yet. He'd just be kind of like talking to people, trying to find out, and has probably learned about this reward. So he's probably looking for this group of, or he is looking for this group of adventurers that had already fought the cultists.
Jenner, how long have we been in town?
Since the cultist fight, or in general?
In general.
That's up to you. But since the fight with the cultists, it's been about 3 days.
I've been at the tavern for the last 3 days.
And like I said, Mary has opened up her home. So in terms of lodging, and the three of you have had a reason to be together at this point with free lodging and saving Mary as you did. She's obviously indebted to you, and you guys helped heal her and everything else. So she's been very helpful and very happy that you guys showed up when you did. She fears that she was, a mere hour or so away from death, if even that.
So would we have known that Toto is in town at this point?
You could, yeah. I mean, I want to make the concept of the announcement of the reward to be more of a town meeting type style. So, Father Ben basically makes an announcement that, hey, this is what's going on. That's the emphasis on, hey, this is public now. Let's not waste time now that the town has made a decision and come up with a reward. So there's like a general meeting spot, I would say, outside of the church, the modest church that it is, that you guys could easily be there, and Toto could be in sight as well.
Okay.
And I'd have made it as the priest finishes, I'll bring my hammer to fight these cultists. Just maybe a little too much bravado in it.
Sure, and Ben kind of perks up and says, of course, and notices the belt and kind of smiles at you and gives a nod and goes, well, that's one more against this fight. I'm not exactly sure where to place the odds, but I've done a lot of praying over this, and we'd appreciate it if the other three of you could go as well. How does that sound?
Works for me.
I think we should try to find out some information as much as we can about these cultists before venturing forth. We ran into a bit of a hairy situation back there, and I think the more information we have, the better.
Sure.
Maybe we could talk to Mary or Ben just about what they know about the group.
Mary knows what was stated. Basically, she was captured at night. She heard some muted chanting, and that's about it. You guys have a pretty good understanding that the fountain that you guys stumbled upon is probably some type of sacrificial fountain that obviously has magical properties as well. What they were trying to do with that said fountain is still up in the air. For those that are magically inclined, you could assume that it could be used as some kind of necromancy. It could just be used in terms of trying to gain favor with an evil deity. You're not quite positive, but what we learned from the last session was that typically those types of fountains have the ability to produce a water, if you will, that can be either damaging or very beneficial, ironically enough, and that can change based on number of times used and even the character that drinks from it as well. And in terms of, go ahead.
Do we have any idea which deity the cultists are worshipping?
You surprisingly didn't see. You saw a multitude of them. I'll make it vague enough to where you saw, let's say, 2 or 3 different ones. There wasn't a specific one that they were after, which is a bit interesting, almost like they're not exactly sure what they're doing. But nothing that harkens to the specifics of, hey, this is probably their goal, or this is probably the deity that they were worshipping.
Does Father Ben know? So Father Ben is aware of where the cultists are located. How did he come to that information?
Sure. He kind of like hears the question in public and then kind of like beckons you inside the church. I assume that all of you follow.
Yes.
So he goes inside. He does a little blessing as he enters. He says a slight prayer as he enters the actual the structure itself. Inside, it's a very modest church. It's actually kept pretty well. There's definitely some time and some effort into making this structure as nice as possible. But there's nothing extravagant in here, nothing of any huge value overall that you might see in a larger town. But he comes in and kind of goes into a corner. There's some pews and some tables there, and he stands and he goes, you know what, to be honest with you, I've spent the last 3 days trying to figure out the best way, and it's been mostly through prayer that I have tried to narrow down what to do next. And I have some clergy here, mostly, in our modest village here, that have come to the conclusion that scouts in the past, in general, people who have been out hunting or things like that, have confirmed that they've always had bad intuitions, if you will, around this part of the woods, and have seen structures out there that seemed to be out of place. But it wasn't until more recently that we realized that cultists were actively here for sure and in the town, that we believe that this is at least the next place to check out. And Torm has sort of pushed me in that direction, if you will, that this is probably a place that should be exhumed of any cultists, assuming that there are some there. So, to be honest, I don't have concrete information. We don't have, as you know, we don't have a huge guard, post or presence here. So it's more on some views of some hunters and some locals that have gone out there to try and help during the day. And figuring that we think it's worth the money at this point that we've put together to continue this fight now that it's so open and public.
Can maybe the hunter, the guard that has the more detailed testimony, maybe we could speak to them, see what they saw firsthand?
Sure. He is, let's say he's actually out of the village at this point, hunting during the day. He tends to hunt for the town itself. Spends most of his days out doing so. He normally comes back, but it's normally closer to dawn, or dusk, excuse me. And just to note, Father Ben has quite a bit of emphasis on, he feels that there are cultists actively in the town, and to a point. And so he just fears that if a lot of time goes by, that they, maybe onto what's happening, or could prepare or even move, or, have some sort of underlying plot sprung.
Yeah, I don't want them to get away, so I'm pretty itching to go head out towards them personally.
Father Ben mentions you. Yes, I hate to come off as so pushy, but we've spent the time deliberating over this. It's not something that we've dealt with before. I'm assuming that there are priests in this world that could have a better solution. But as far as we can amass here, and considering that we think that it's definitely a sight from the gods that the four of you would somehow even be here, all at the same time, yet alone during this time, it really seems like a blessing and fate, if you will, that this be carried out.
Father Ben, when I enter battle, sometimes I tend to get ahead of myself, and that can lead to some pretty grievous wounds. Do you have anything that might be able to assist me in future battles as we head towards these cultists? Anything that
Sure.
can assist me or the party?
Yeah, he looks at you almost sorry that he hadn't thought of it before. He does kind of nod a couple times. He goes, yes. We don't have an apothecary per se in town, but we do have a slight storage of healing potions. They're mostly used for medical purposes in the town itself and for the church, but I believe that we could spare a couple of them. And he kind of starts to go over to a locked cabinet that is sort of hidden, not hidden, excuse me, a locked cabinet that's through another room in the back of the church itself. You guys can kind of see where he's going. He kind of goes back there if no one follows, and you hear like a click of a lock and open up, and then he comes back into the main foyer with 2 potions of healing, the Cure Light Wounds.
How do I track that? Just keep that in like my D&D Beyond.
You guys would just want to. You guys would want to do with those what you will. So someone needs to add them to an inventory. Yeah.
Yeah, put it in the foundry. That's fine. They should have an inventory in here.
I don't know how to do that.
Is,
You know how to do that,
so,
Grim?
yeah, so if you go to your compendium, which is like the book with an @ symbol on it.
Yeah. Create one.
No. Like, we just need to find. Do you have items in here? Trade goods.
I do.
Like, there's a whole
I have
bunch.
trade goods.
That's not a trade goods.
No, it's not a trade good. I don't think you have it in here. So right now we'll need to put it in.
I have a lot in here, but I'm not sure.
Well, I think what I'll do. Sorry to fucking metagaming bullshit. I'm trying to actually figure out how to export my entire DDB scrape so I can just give it to you.
Okay, cool.
Or I can even just like show you how to do it between now and next session. But we should probably. I'm writing it in my book, but if anybody wants to put it in like their D&D Beyond sheet, just to make sure we don't forget it.
Yeah, because that was something I didn't even mess with for this session, was like the loot side of it. I was just going to post it in chat because I'm not sure.
Yeah.
If I put it in a compendium, anybody can access that and then they could pull from there to their character. Is that how it works?
So I'm looking at them, and it looks like at least I have access to most of the compendiums, I think. Because like I can look at class features, and in theory I could just like grab a class feature and drag it onto myself. So if there's an item thing, like you could do the same thing.
Okay.
You might want to like lock certain things, like if
I locked a lot already.
yeah,
like there's.
we'll talk about that later. I don't want to
Okay.
interrupt the flow of the game to talk about Foundry.
Cool. Yeah, just add someone put somewhere in one spot 2 potions. So. Yeah.
I'll track it.
Is there like a font for holy water anywhere in this place?
Yes, there is. He makes a note. He says, yes. I forget that you were new. There is one outside that we bless every single morning. It's small, but it should be to your liking. And outside to the left, you can go almost around a corner. There's like a small,
Do you have any extra vials or water skins that I could hopefully borrow?
Sure. How many? And his tone's changing a little bit at this point. He's like, how many did you need?
We're dealing with cultists, so I'm thinking approximately 1 font's holy water might be appropriate.
Oh, sure. Yes, I can help with that. He goes into the same room that he found the potions in. You don't hear the click of a lock this time, and he kind of rummages through a bit, and it comes out with what you're looking for.
So how many do I get? Just in case it matters.
Let's say, how big are they?
A water skin is probably like.
Oh, just a water skin.
Like,
okay.
Or a vial. I don't know if it's a vial.
No, we'll do water skins.
Okay, water skins fine.
Let's do. He can give 2.
Okay, so I'm taking 2 water skins of holy water.
Okay.
So basically 2 holy waters.
Okay. And at this point, he's just got a smile on his face. He's like, yes, anything else I can help you guys with?
I think that's a good start, Father.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yes, I will say, because I understand that this is dangerous, we do have a contingent of, call to arms, if you will, villagers here that are willing to come after you guys if you do not return by a certain point of time. Would you like me to have them on standby in case that happens, or let me know when you expect to be back, or by a certain point you think it may be necessary to send that out? And we could also call to the larger towns for help, as well, as this issue may be pressing enough for them to potentially lend help as well.
I would say yes, and also I would like to know how many villagers are missing.
Well, it's at this point it hasn't. So the 3 that went missing was the most that had been taken in any one night, and that is extraordinarily rare, which is why we fear at this point that there's something brewing larger than what they've been potentially working on over time. So we most places fear, especially when there is good involved, that evil is near, and so we weren't exactly sure exactly what was going on. But now, we would have the occasional, maybe once a month, someone goes missing, and there might even be a rumor that they've returned or they've moved away. So it was always a bit odd in terms of keeping track. But now at this point, with 3 gone and 3 returned, not only is that unprecedented from what we can tell, it's also unique in the sense that 3 returned. So we are now fully aware that the evil presence is here and is after some type of goal as well.
So 2 questions. The site we're going to, it's 5 miles out. How long does it actually take to get there?
It's going to be a good road for about a mile, and then from the map you guys have, it's going to be basically wilderness from that point. So about 4 miles through the wilderness. So the mile itself is about 15-ish minute walk, and then after that, I would say it's going to take 20 per mile at least to get out there. So you're within I would say 2 to 3 hours at the most to get out there, assuming everything goes to plan.
So if it takes us 3 hours to get there, and we haven't so that's like a 6-hour round trip. If we haven't come back, like, should we tell the villagers to come after 5 hours? Because if we're dead, that would give them time to still attack while we're hopefully done some damage or can still be saved.
Yeah. Father Ben's face is grim as he contemplates this. He goes, "Oh, heavens. I fear this. It doesn't come to this because, of course, you guys are the greatest hope we have, at least at this point. You know what? I would like to err on the safer side. I assume that doing the trek out, you'd be more efficient on your way back. However, I don't know what exactly you'll find there. So why don't we just send a contingent of what we can spare at night if you guys do not return by, let's say, what he says, like 5 hours from now. If at worst case they meet you on your way back and they can tend to any wounds you may have. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me. Could we also borrow any horses to get there faster?
He looks up because we did think about this. Horses are difficult because I'm not sure there would be much use after the main road. I don't have a problem with you taking one that we could spare here, but I fear that once the main road is gone, for those that have traveled east of here, where the map shows, it's rather thick in the woods itself, and I'm not sure how useful a horse would be overall. And then I'm also afraid that once you guys go into whatever the structure may be there, I fear that it just may get spooked and not come back. But if you guys think that it would be helpful, I don't have a problem with you taking the one that we can spare that we typically use for odd jobs around here on the church premises itself.
What do you guys think? If there's only one, then probably that isn't going to increase the time in which we can get to our destination.
Yeah, I don't think we'll need one.
It'll slow us down in the forest.
I have a quick question. Is my natural explorer force, does that have any effect on that with mounts? It says difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel. Would that
It wouldn't slow the travel. It wouldn't necessarily affect the horse, I'm going to say, just because of just the physicality of a large animal getting through. But yeah, absolutely. With a ranger involved, much more difficult to get lost. I would definitely look into that stuff once you guys start traveling. Being able to roll survival and being able to keep your way, if you will. But with a horse, I'm not sure. And it still doesn't allow anybody to move faster except for maybe 1 to 2 max.
Yeah.
So the 3 villagers that returned, have they acted suspiciously at all?
Ben looks up as he was contemplating about the horse still and goes, you know, that's interesting you mentioned that. I mean, you guys, and he points to the three of you besides Toto here and says, well, you've spent time with Mary. Did she seem off at all? She doesn't. Sorry, I realized I asked a question you guys don't know. Mary seems normal, but you didn't know her that well, if at all, to begin with. The other three villagers don't remember much at all. And besides just tending to wounds and basically sleeping for the majority of 3 days, there's been no concerns about them feeling any different or being exposed to something.
All right. Well, I'm good to head out.
Yes, Ben shakes his head. Yes, thank you. Please, if there's anything else I can help you with, absolutely let me know. But at this point, I think we have a relatively sound plan, all things considered. If you guys are not back within 4 hours, we will send out a party that, by means of try and take the straightest line you can to that location, and they will come back on that same path. If you can, maybe leave something behind, and they can easily follow the trail that you guys take. And then, yes, we wish you the best of luck, and of course, the gold is here whenever you return.
No, you said 4 hours. Is it 4 or 5?
4 for them to send the help. 5 to get. Is that what you're talking? Did I say 5?
I thought it was originally 5.
We'll go with 4.5 because I don't remember.
And we long rested since.
Oh yes, you guys are
Alright.
completely. Yeah, except for Toto, who just came in. I'm not sure what he's been up to, but the rest of you have been spending the last 3 days doing nothing but resting.
Yeah, just be sure we're still level 1.
Yes.
Okay. Shall we move out?
Let's go.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Oh no. Come on. Okay, there we go. So you guys head out with all of your belongings. Take note of all those things. If you want any last minute basic purchases, I'm assuming you guys have done that, but at this point, I think
I have a question. I did starting items. Do I have any gold at this point?
just normal starting gold per class, which you can roll.
Oh, okay.
You usually get like the starting pack, and then you would have gold based on class,
You know
minus
what?
whatever you bought.
Interesting. Yeah, my character sheet doesn't show any money on it. The community beyond did have money.
You guys can all fiddle with that, but even until next session, we can assume that the shop, quote unquote, in Blythewood would be stocked with the bare necessities of things. So
any of my spell materials, components, and stuff.
it's always assumed that you have that naturally, unless it has a cost with it. But I'm talking things like rope or rations or things like that. Just minus those. If you're retconning once you need them, you can fuck off. But if you want to add something before the following session, that's fine, because this is session 1. So everyone cool with that?
So, no, sorry.
Are you wanting me to keep track of arrows?
I'm gonna go with no for now. I don't think it adds too much. But you know what? Let's go with yes for now, and then we'll discuss if you think it adds something or not. How about that?
Okay, that's fine.
I think it added. Interesting.
Cool. So you guys head down the 1 mile trek. There's a nice little pip in your step, if you will. Did you guys want to conversate about anything while doing this, or can I continue telling my story?
I will just be picking up thorny branches and stuff for my spells.
Okay. So you're just kind of running off the trail here, just outside of town, grabbing
Just
shit.
When we get to the forest, you know, there's gonna be thorns and shit everywhere. I'm guessing.
Okay.
Because it's a forest.
Yes. Perfect. You guys make it to the forest itself, and as far as you can tell, based on the map and the dimensions that were, or the mileage markers that were essentially given to you, you believe that where you are currently standing is the best place to start heading into the forest. So you guys do so, and everything seems completely normal at this point. Anyone doing perception checks or looking for traps, you do not find anything. It's actually rather peaceful, all things considered. There's just the nerves on the tip of your consciousness, if you will, knowing that you're sort of walking into a bit of the unknown overall. Let me see
So-
here. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm with a barbarian, a druid, and a ranger.
Yes.
So as we're walking into the forest, I kind of clap the ranger on the shoulder, and mutter some words, giving him a blessing from Torm, and he has advantage on his next initiative roll.
Okay.
As we're leaving the path or the road, should we leave some kind of marker for the group that might be coming behind us to show where we went off?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
What are you guys leaving behind?
I don't have anything in particular.
Grab some branches and put an arrow on the road, pointing into the woods.
I like it.
Yeah, do we have any like chalk or? What kind of item would that be?
I'll just go up to like a small birch tree that I see standing, and I'll just break it in half and take the sap and draw an arrow from the sap and leave like crack logs and form an arrow.
They can just look around
There
where
it
all the
is.
broken trees are. Perfect. So, assuming you guys are basically making a broken tree line of sight back to where you started, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Perfect. So you guys continue. We'll say mile 1 and mile 2 go on without a hitch. And then I'm gonna say to learn names still. Royce, as you're walking, I'm guessing that you guys are letting the ranger lead. Is that fine?
Yes.
I can take the back if that's like. I can just be kind of watching the back.
Okay. Royce, you're fine with up front?
Yeah, I'm good with
Great.
that. I want to be perceiving everything, checking
Yep.
for traps, all that as
Roll me a survival check.
Oh shit!
Okay, I'm not seeing the things before where I was rolling for all
Yeah,
that.
we don't. Because we don't have an avatar, I think.
You
On
can't.
your-
You can just click on your PCs from the actor
It
screen.
doesn't do anything for us for the skill bar.
Oh, really?
You can
Yeah,
roll
there's
it from your. Oh, it doesn't.
So on the left side,
Did I just roll? I don't think that's my die.
Just rolled a
no, that was me.
4.
On the left, no, that was just my roll. On the left side, you can see like the little dice, and you can hit D20.
Yeah, but we don't know his bonuses and stuff too.
So if you just click the name of your skill on the main page of your character sheet, it'll roll.
Yeah.
Okay, what am I doing here?
Survival. Cool.
Oh.
21. So you are heading, and you've been confident. It's 2 miles going in. There's nothing out of the ordinary. All of a sudden, to a bit of your concern, in the distance, you start to see, I'll say, trees that don't look quite right. They seem to be out of place. You recognize the trees overall, but you've not seen them in this forest so far. You sort of stop, and kind of the party kind of halts with you as well. And then you're kind of just looking around for a second or two, and a sort of uneasiness rolls over you as you, almost for the first time since you've been trained in the forest, you feel a bit out of place. You kind of brush this off, and then confidently continue to go in the direction that you believe is correct. I'll say the next mile goes by, and Royce, go ahead and roll me another survival check. So you have successfully been walking now for, let's say, about an hour. You should be getting close to where this map says within a mile or so of this location. However, the sound of the consistent every minute or so cracks of a tree behind you as the barbarian is getting a little bit too much enjoyment out of breaking these things in half, maybe getting ready for the bloodshed to come. But again, you get a feeling that's almost that it physically stops you in your tracks as you're looking around, and your shoulders drop as you feel like mentally defeated, like what is going on here? And again, you start to see these changes around you, and for the first time, you feel and you turn to the group and you say, "Guys,
Something doesn't feel quite right.
something doesn't feel quite right." Yep.
Can you
I'm
explain
gonna
it?
I'm gonna I'm gonna see if I can look for any signs of other people, like any aside from the trees I'm breaking, like any marks that would indicate someone like went off the path, or look to see if I can see anyone that's like watching us or anything like that.
For the most part, the rest of you, unless you have some type of nature attunement I'm not sure about, have just been enjoying the stroll. It
Okay.
has been
I'm at Druid with survival
yes,
6.
you are. You I'll roleplay from Royce at this point, but basically everything has seemed normal. Observer as well, you start to feel a bit constricted, if you will, in terms of almost like your vision or the space that you're in. The trees seem to be enclosing unnaturally around you as you continue to walk. And then for Vimrak, there's nothing out of the ordinary, and you've seen no signs of people whatsoever. However, if you guys will all continue over the course of the next 20 minutes, something rather alarming happens, and it gets rather dark. And all of you, survival or not, realize that it seems like more time has passed than should have.
It's like we thought we were
Uh,
going to be there in like another 20 minutes and we just keep walking.
Not so much. It's almost as if time fast forwards a bit, and it just seems later than it should be. So it's kind of like you walked for about 10, 15 minutes from what you can tell, but it seems like an hour's gone by.
I'll turn to Toto and ask him if he has any way of detecting magic that may be amiss.
Um, I can if you're willing to wait for a bit.
How long?
About 10 minutes usually to complete the full ritual.
What do you guys think? Should we sit back and try
Yeah,
and
I
figure
think
out?
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I'm gonna just keep a keen eye, keep watch, see if I see anything move throughout the forest.
Sure. And for the two survivalists, you guys are pretty shook, for a lack of a better term, by the fact that it's very rare that you feel this uncomfortable in a place that you would call home in most situations.
And I have an actual decent bonus to survival, but I'm not a survivalist, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna ritual cast detect magic.
Okay.
No, don't consume the spell slot because I'm not. There we go. So I'll ritual cast detect magic. Basically, it's 30 feet around us. Is there any?
There's not. You guys kind
No,
of
or nothing?
sit down a little bit to wait for this, spellcaster to do his thing. And then once the time has gone by, about 10 minutes, you don't sense anything. In almost an odd way, you sense less than you would expect to sense, if that makes any sense. There's sort of a lack thereof going on around you. And it seems that even over the course of 10 minutes, all of you are now even more aware of how dark it seems. And in the very, very far reaches of how far you can see through this somewhat dense forest, it seems like there's a fog creeping in, sort of, and one that unsettles you quite deeply.
I don't like this place.
Is it dark fog or just like sight blocking?
No,
fog?
it's a natural looking fog. It just seems pronounced, if you will. It's, let's say that in terms of time, none of you really have a good grasp of what time it is anymore. You don't think it's been more than 4 hours, but from what you're looking around, it looks to be within 30 minutes of being completely dark. But in just the far distance of your vision, you see just sort of a white fog kind of naturally rolling in, and it's almost consistent in any direction that you look.
Can I do any kind of check on that fog, like a perception check?
I would say at this point it wouldn't do anything. All of you are aware of this, and yeah, it's slowly but surely just kind of making its way towards you.
I don't think we should waste any more time. We need to find those cultists and be done with them.
I agree.
Alright.
So I need anybody who wants to roll a survival check to find the path at this point. I'm going to say Royce has the map. That's fine. Anybody who thinks they want to give their opinion on where to go, go ahead and roll a survival check.
We all have opinions.
Okay, so Observer and Vimrak, the two of you, Vimrak, you've been snapping these things and are pretty confident you've been walking straight for the last 2 hours. There's almost a bit of anger kind of boils into you a bit as you realize, like, how could this be happening? Like, I'm in charge of the Great X's and killing things, and this ranger is in charge of the directions, and it seems like we're getting lost. You're really confident that you need to head, like, to the right a couple degrees and continue forward. And you look back and you see your broken snaps. That's just what makes sense to you. However, Royce and Toto, you're on completely different levels here. The two of you have been somewhat lackadaisically making your way through, again, relying on the ranger to find it. His way seems like a reasonable thing to do, and for whatever reason it just seems wrong. And even though you look back too and see the cracks in the wood, you can see like one or two back, you're just confident that you need to go to the left a bit, and you're pretty sure that there's less fog to the left than there is to the right. But a bit of a quarrel, if you will, slightly kind of breaks out here in terms of what's the best direction to go. But I'll leave it up to you guys.
So wait, Vimrak wants to go to the right, and I want to go to the left.
Yes.
Sorry, is Vimrak or Observer the
Royce
ranger?
is the ranger.
Royce is the ranger. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it wrong
Right.
when he said Royce and Toto.
I meant to do the top
the
two and the bottom two. Observer and Vimrak are right, Royce and Toto are left. Sorry.
I said we go right.
I've spent my life on the road. I'm really comfortable in these scenarios. And how can we trust such a drunk to lead us astray like this?
Listen here, orc. I've lived in the woods
Okay.
for most of my life. I know where I'm going.
So
I do. I've lived in the woods. I'm a druid. I know these woods like I know the back of my hand. Oh, that's new.
Toto kind of mutters under his breath and says, "I don't think I should, but I trust the ranger."
Okay.
Party split?
TPK?
TPK.
Look, I'm gonna proceed in this direction. You can follow or you cannot.
Oh, wait. Let's Rochambeau it.
But if I kill these cultists and make it back, you have no choice in the reward. It's all ours.
I'm about to get an arrow in your back as you walk away from me, man.
Whoa. No need to get violent. We're not like these cultists. Come on.
Yeah, like we're here to solve a problem, not cause a problem.
Let's go to the right first. We'll walk for 20 minutes. If we can't find anything, we'll walk my path back and go to the left.
Royce kind of begrudgingly follows along.
Okay. So you guys are going which way?
The right.
Right for 20 minutes
Okay.
is the decision.
Noted. So, do any of you have like an actual clock or a watch?
Do those exist in?
I don't know.
Like
Sometimes the
in
tinkerers can make
in
them.
D&D?
Yes, not in real life. I assume you all have one on your computer.
Well, I can measure time in terms of amount of trees broken.
Perfect. We will go with that. So,
Can we see this guy
with
at
the
this point?
barbarian now in the lead, you guys travel for what you assume to be 20 minutes, and full-blown night has engulfed the forest. For those that do not have any kind of dark vision, it's getting very difficult to see. For those that have dark vision, it's looking pretty black and white at this point, unless there's other things going on with your vision. Yes,
Who doesn't have dark vision?
observer doesn't.
Who's observer? Is it obvious that you don't have dark vision? Are you like stumbling around kind of as it gets darker?
Not yet. It's
Okay.
just, it's kind of getting to the point where if you guys
Can
are
I-
going single file,
Can I tell that he's affected by the light?
yes, so lack thereof, yes. You can tell
Okay.
it's getting more difficult.
What kind of weapon do you have, observer?
I have a quarterstaff.
So I motion to your quarterstaff as we're walking. I kind of get up beside you and be like, I can help with the darkness a bit if you want.
Oh, I would much appreciate it.
And
So I have a full torch out.
I touch the end of his quarterstaff and cast light as a cantrip on it, so he gets an hour of light on the end of the quarterstaff.
Perfect. That's a good way to keep track of time. So the 20 minutes goes by. Darkness is around. All of you at this point now had full meals at Mary's house. Y'all getting pretty hungry. Y'all getting
no.
pretty thirsty. That need fuck you and your robot stomach. And so hunger is sort of starting to creep on.
Wait. Have
as
we got
well.
a Warforged?
Yes.
I'm a warforged. Thought that wasn't described earlier.
Well, I don't have any description of your characters, just so you guys know.
It's
I have
just
no idea.
the damn photo gives it away, but if you don't go specifically there and click on it, I don't think you guys can see the full image.
We can actually, there's no way for us to see each other's images in full
Yeah.
right now.
Hey, so I'll start. I mostly look like a normal human. I'm about 6 feet tall, dark hair, except my eyes are completely white.
Okay.
I'm
Alright,
about
Centennial Man.
5'7", 145 pounds, black hair, green eyes.
We want your D&D character.
Thing that what is kind of important is my character's weight. Let me find that real quick.
What about you, Vimrak?
Yeah, so I'm definitely a lot bigger than most half orcs you've seen. Probably the biggest, standing just north of 7 feet tall, close to 300 pounds. Just
Jesus.
a really athletic, muscular build. I have a couple straps with a couple straps going across my chest, and other than that, I'm bare chested. Typical black hair with the shaved sides, tied back into kind of like a half ponytail.
Awesome.
Nice.
So,
Sorry,
okay.
Sterling. Are you obviously a race or just like kind of a?
I'm a wood elf.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm just.
No, you're good.
My character is let's just say 6'8" and a little over 300 pounds.
Jesus, we got some thick boys in this party.
Yeah.
Observer, is the name of your character Observer as well?
Yes. That's part
So
of the
if I'm
first word.
guessing, just because I don't know everybody's voices, so we've got Observer the Warforged Druid,
Yes.
and we have a Wood Elf Ranger and a Half Orc Barbarian. And I'm I don't know if I should hide my heritage or not.
If you
Is my-
think it
is-
could,
Is my heritage like? Do you think that would be something that people would know or know in your game?
Yeah. So you know my language, right? I know Celestial. So
Yeah, I do know your
um,
language. Well, we
so,
wouldn't know that right now, though.
would Celestial be races as well? Like you would
Well,
have to have some knowledge of the races to know the language.
Well, we'd have to also speak in it, right? Like, I don't know. I guess I'm just Shatner. I guess I'm asking you if you want my race to be obvious or not, because I don't really care. But I don't know if you care.
That's more of what you're wearing. I don't care one way or the other.
Okay, so
If you're
I
trying
guess-
to hide it, I'm fine with it being somewhat
No.
hideable, but with too much time, especially getting lost in the woods here, eventually they're gonna notice something.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let it play. Like, I think probably my eyes have started to glow.
Okay.
Like, my eyes have no pupils, they're white and they're glowing. So if anybody knows what an ASMR is, that's what I am. If your character wouldn't know, then I just look really fucking weird right now.
What kind of check would that be, Shatner, to know what race he is?
Probably history.
Like, we're not common, but we're not uncommon.
Do a history check, I guess. Oh, wow, that's horrible.
I'm
You're
more just,
intrigued, but not certain.
I'm more just asking if anybody cares from an RP perspective. Because, like, my guy hasn't said what he is, but, Anyway, I'll shut up now.
You're good.
My eyes are starting to glow in the dark.
Yeah, it's
So-
very hard to tell what I am.
20
still gotta-
minutes.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I still got a pretty big buzz going, and I could care less what people look like.
Fair
So,
enough.
I'm just barreling through the woods.
I missed the last session, so I'm kind of just trying to play catch up. I don't know, whatever.
No, I'm RPing this. No, I'm not talking about in
Oh,
reality.
okay.
Gotta do them both. I'm high as fuck. I'm not even playing a
Oh,
character, damn it.
You're playing
Dude,
all the characters, Shatner.
It's
You're the
true.
world.
I'm playing the fog. So, 20 minutes goes by from what you expect. You've heard the very accurate timer at this point has been the barbarian's grumblings as he goes, "All right, one every 5 minutes," and cracks a tree in half. He's trying to put more and more force into it now going on as he's trying to show off a bit, possibly here as he's cracking trees according to his 5-minute intervals. So he cracks 4 trees, kind of turns and goes, "All right, what do you think you say now?" You don't see what you should on the map.
Are we in the
Or what
fog
do-
at this point?
No, the fog is still at a distance. Vimrak, you've gone your 20 minutes and you're not seeing what you hope to see.
No point in turning back at this point. Might as well keep going, and I just start walking.
Can I do another
And
survival?
I'm like pretty angry at this point.
Yes, you can roll survival. What are you trying? Okay.
Trying to
The
get
amount
my
of
bearings.
thought that you've put into this is just frustrating. The trees above you have sort of overgrown over time. They're taller. You can see almost none of the sky at this point, and really, what you're concerned about to a blood pressure raising point now is this fog that seems to be getting closer and closer and closer. You're certain you would bet all the money you've ever made since you've been alive on the fact that you've been traveling for far longer than the time it should have taken to get to your destination, and you're just not really sure what went wrong.
I'm gonna ask to see the map and see if I
Hey,
can tell where we are.
Are you visibly frustrated by this?
Look, I was leading us in a perfectly good direction until this orc took over, so
And so
I'm just here with it now.
I just kind of walk up
We're
by
following
you,
him.
and I'm just like, if you need any help, I can magically supplement your efforts and things. If you need it, just let me know.
Yeah, by all means, someone else take the reins here.
Just let me know if you wanna a boost to your survival. Let me know, and I can give you a little.
What kind of goods you got, man? What are you
Vimrak,
offering here?
as they're talking here, and your frustration is growing, the slightest sound meets your ears, and you're pretty confident it sounds like a group of humans yelling, like "Hello, hello," like almost like a search party, if you will. And you're pretty confident it's coming, to your right.
Who heard it? All of us?
At this point, just Vimrak. He's a little bit further from the group, just maybe a matter of a couple feet, but he's not in that conversation. And so it stands out to him for the first time.
So once I hear the voices, I just kind of stop and I look in the direction, and I motion back to the group to hold and to be silent. And I'll see if I can discern anything in the woods from where the voices are coming from.
Nothing more than
attention to him at all. I'm still talking to Grimash, trying to find out what kind of goodies he has for me.
I put my just to get this out of the way. I put my hand on him and mutter a prayer to Torm, and you feel a little calmness pass over you. You have guidance. You get 1d4 to your next skill check for the next minute.
That was not what I was hoping for.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
But thank you nonetheless. But don't tease me like that in the future. All right.
my other game I'm playing, my brother-in-law is obsessed with what he is calling orc cigars and is insistent on finding more orc cigars specifically in the campaign. And then the main campaign for Curse of Strahd, the guy that is actually always drunk and high, is trying to get everybody he encounters addicted to shrooms that he brought with him. Yeah, he's kind of given up because I stopped getting everybody high around him.
No, just a little.
Oh, it's true. He's dead. I forgot. But yeah,
Well,
shrooms all around.
I can give anybody guidance whenever. You just need to tell me you want guidance.
And he's just got to touch you. Nothing
I wanna see
weird.
the map.
So
I'm
Royce
not
has the
paying
map.
attention- I'm not paying attention to Siri, and I'm still in conversation.
Yeah, Royce has the map, and Vemrak is hearing stuff, and everyone's ignoring him.
Do I discern anything out in the direction where I heard the voices?
You still hear the same sort of calling. It kind of sounds like people are. I mean, you have to say probably at least 4 or 5 people are sort of out there in the distance, calling out like, "Hello, anyone out there?" Like they're just, random sane mutterings along the lines of like they're looking for someone.
I'm gonna yell. I'm gonna say back to the group, the search party or the villagers are here, and just start walking in that direction.
Okay. For those that are presumably ignoring him at this point, do you let him get more than 30 feet away from you guys, or 40 feet away, or are you guys keeping up?
No, when he
Check to see if I noticed him.
You guys would notice him. I mean,
when he calls out, I'm gonna turn and follow him.
okay.
I'm following too.
Okay. Everyone's sort of meandering along now.
Yep.
Okay. Vimrak, there's a point at about a couple minutes. It's hard to tell exactly how much time goes on, but you do feel as though the sound is getting louder. A couple others in the group hear the same kind of yelling, and a little bit of hope kind of rushes over you as you. Honestly, it sounds like a search party. Like your immediate assumption is that it's the group that was coming after you, because too much time has gone by. So the problem is that it sounds like it's coming from different directions for some of you, and then it kind of switches to other directions as well. But Vemrak here is pretty confident, hearing it first, that it's one way. Are you guys good following him for the next couple minutes?
Yeah, I mean
Right.
they're coming from the wrong direction because this orc got us lost. That's what the problem is.
I mean, I'm not going to wander off by myself into the woods.
Perfect. So at this point, I'll say that you guys have made quite a few turns and twists. After a good amount of time now, the sound doesn't seem to be getting any closer. And if anything, it sounds like it's getting further away. And after what you'd assume to be another 10 to 15 minutes of walking, the forest is dark. There's no moon. And the general sounds around you are changing to the creatures of the night, and the quietness, almost eeriness of this woods that you find yourselves in. For those that have any perception, which at this point is all of you, it seems like you are almost in a different woods at this point. There's a tiredness rolling over you. You feel like you've been walking for 6 or 7 hours at this point. And the fog is now, I would say, within 100 feet, 200 feet of you guys, somewhere in between that. It's hard to tell exactly, but it's the closest that it's been since you've left.
Well, little elf, what do you think?
I mean, what's with the fog? Like, should we just walk into it?
And the voices are coming from the fog?
The voices are effectively gone now. You were confident all of you heard it, but at this point, it's safe to say that if you guys were close to that party, you seem to be further away from it now, or it's just gone.
I mean, this fog seems to be kind of following us and creeping closer towards us. I get some kind of evil sense from it, and I mean, aren't we wanting to head towards the evil?
I'm not scared of any evil.
Cultists are, right?
Yeah, we should probably push on.
I'll emphasize again the tiredness. It's almost unnatural at this point how weak your legs and just body feels, but you guys continue to press on. There's no issue with that. I'll say you go. God damn it. I'll say everyone but Observer goes for another. Everyone goes to the same pace for another half hour, as far as you can tell. And to your complete and utter defeat, you find yourself in a familiar place. It seems that you are in the place of the spot that you guys stopped to do the detect magic. You only realize that because you spent 10 minutes here, and while the lighting has changed and the trees seem different, you're pretty positive you're where you were what seems like 2 hours ago, and you're just at this point have absolutely no idea where to go.
Great,
walking in
you've led us
circles.
in a circle.
You heard the voices, didn't you? I wasn't the only one.
I heard the voices. Wait,
Maybe
There's
it's not.
hear the
no-
voices, didn't you?
There's no point in continuing in the night. We should probably hunker down and get some rest.
Do we need? So
First thing in the life.
you said something about like food and hunger and stuff. Do we?
Yes, for those that eat and drink, you're definitely in the mood to eat and drink. Especially drink. Like I said, it feels like you've been traveling for a very long time, and a rest sounds good, to say the least.
Wait, so is tracking creatures something that I can do with Natural Explorer? Sorry, I know this is like a side.
Find food and tracking creatures, yeah, that would all be like, I forget if it falls under investigation or survival. Probably survival, but whatever's higher in those situations mostly.
Have we seen any animals here?
Nothing large, no. You've seen small creatures here and there, a rabbit, a squirrel, but nothing large.
I'll say to the party, if you guys are getting hungry, I can try to round us up some grub and something to drink.
I don't trust your hunting skills, but best of luck.
I can start a fire while we wait. If
I'll
we're
gather the
stopping
wood.
here for a bit.
Is just Venrak gathering the wood?
I guess I'll help him. Well, so we have 3 people, and what? One person's gonna go gather, and one person's gonna go hunt. Should we?
I'll go with Royce and help him hunt.
Okay.
Okay. How far are you guys going from each other?
I would like to stay as close as possible. I want to find the nearest food source that there is, food, water source, and then be back.
Okay.
I'm not trying to go too far.
Roll your survival check.
Should I as well?
Okay.
Anybody that has the, I know.
get guidance on this, correct?
I can give you guidance if you. Well, I can give you guidance for a
Already did.
minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Does it take like a spell slot or something?
Nope, it's cantrip. I can literally. I'm a guidance battery. So if you ever.
Okay. Yeah.
To be a little metagaming, if you ever want to
Grandma,
make a
if you
skill
could give me
check.
some of that goods that, or sorry, Toto, if you could give me some of those goods that you
Load me up.
before
Yeah,
before we split.
I say another prayer to Torm and give him that.
So I just add 4 to this. Oh, look at that.
1d4. He had 1d4. So
we eating good tonight, boys.
although
You
are
so
we,
you
are we in the forest?
Yes.
Is that his favored terrain?
Yes.
You guys do find, well, not you guys, Royce, you spend the course of what feels to be maybe 2 or 3 minutes kind of going off in a direction. There's still the light coming off of observer's weapon, so you're pretty confident you can get back to where they are. The fog is not that close. You find a small little pool, actually a decent looking area to maybe set up a small camp. And around that pool, you find 4 or 5 bushes that are just full of berries that you perceive to be edible and fine. You eat one tentatively, and it seems fine. From your time in the forest, you're not exactly sure what kind it is, but it has all the markings or the lack thereof of things that seem to be dangerous.
Okay, so when I forage, I find twice as much food as I normally would.
Okay, so you have plenty of food for the group.
Okay. All right, so I've found a bunch of food, I've found water, and you said this looks like a good place to camp. I'm going to go back to the group and be like, hey, I got us some grub, and it looks like we got a really good place to set up camp over in this direction, if you guys are up for it.
Sure.
Yeah, let's make our way over there.
Oh, that was enthusiastic.
I mean,
So you guys
this
have-
place is creepy. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, even when you are casting guidance, it seems like there's a distance to your god, to a sense. You still feel his presence, but it's not as strong as normal. And no matter what situation you've been in, everybody feels very out of place in this forest. Anybody want to do anything else besides grab a vet wood, which I'll assume is fine, and then go ahead and eat to their heart's desire?
Yeah, what are we
should
doing? Are we stopping here for a period of time, or are we gonna press on? Like, are we just eating and then going, or are we gonna camp? What's the plan?
I think we should.
You're okay.
Go ahead, observer.
Saying it's up to you. Organics. I don't need to sleep.
Yeah, I think we should. Rest and wait till morning, or so this fog dissipates a little bit. So I plan to sleep. If the mechanical man can keep watch throughout the night and wake us if any danger comes, and we can
Yes,
get
I
rested.
can. While I take a long rest, I actually just stay in a motionless state while I'm still inert. While I'm inert or pure inert, I'm not unconscious and I can hear and see as normal.
Cool. Great. As you guys are meandering now around your fire, tensions are high, eyelids are heavy. For the first time now, you do hear something that would confirm there's creatures larger than bunnies and squirrels in the woods. In the far distance, you hear wolves howl. Maybe 2, maybe 3, and then to a concerning note, you probably hear more than 6 of them in the distance. All of you are feeling rather tired. It's up to you if you'd like to sleep here or continue trying to go somewhere or do something else.
So I'm sorry, I got another question. For natural explorers, says while tracking other creatures, you also learn their exact number, their sizes, and how long ago they passed through the area. Is this something that I can use to try to find the cultists?
That'd be something if you could have tried that earlier to see if there were tracks off that beaten path, but at this point you guys are thoroughly lost and there's no consistent tracks except for the ones that you guys have placed yourselves, you'd assume. And in terms of the wolves, what you hear is what you got.
Okay. I'll be honest. I'm a little wary about taking a rest here. I think that this is pretty pressing, and we may lose our opportunity. But this is a democracy, so I'm open to a vote.
Do not carry the way.
We can't see when we're lost. We're not making any headway in the dark. I think we should rest. And if the doggies want to come along and require firm petting, we can give that to them too.
Toto, looks like you're the tiebreaker.
'Cause, I mean, 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 I me I mean, so this darkness, does it feel like it should be nighttime? Like, I don't know when we left out. Like, does it feel
At
like
this point, yes, it doesn't feel like an unnatural darkness, if that's what you're getting at. It just seems a bit odd in the sense that it's difficult. The trees are just so tall. It's difficult to get any kind of bearings from what time of night it is. At this point, you feel like you've been traveling for a very long time, at least 5 to 6 hours. So you assume nighttime should be here, and even dawn should be around the corner.
maybe we should stop. I'm gonna go find a tree, and I'm also gonna actually go find a tree. I have to take a.
Okay.
I have to step away for a second. I'll be right back. But I vote for sleeping.
Okay.
Sleep it is. I'll find a tree to kind of climb up in and lay down and rest.
Okay. So all of you are just standing around the general fire, I assume.
Yep.
All right.
I'll take a seat and I'll begin counting all of the blades of grass nearby.
Perfect. Good work there. How long do you guys want to sleep? You have an alarm clock, so you guys sleeping till you see light?
What constitutes as a long rest?
Long rest is 8 hours, of which 2 can be short rest material, so reading, preparing, eating, sitting, but it needs to be 8 hours total uninterrupted.
I vote for a short rest personally. We haven't.
I know you said that we were feeling tired, but in terms of like points of exhaustion, we don't require a long rest currently.
No. No.
I say we sleep until some sort of light breaks through, the fog dissipates.
Yeah, I can make you guys as soon as becomes light out.
Okay. I'll wait for Grim to get back before we continue.
Royce kind of grumbles to himself, not really happy with the decision, but goes along with it.
I pull out a little flask and I throw it at Royce and I tell him to shut up.
Cheers, mate.
So you're just ever present observer?
Basically, yes.
Okay.
That was a good tree.
Nice. So everyone is electing to basically take a short rest, and observer is observing. Are you fine with that?
Sure.
Okay. So even with observer sort of watching here, even in your robotic state, if you will, you tend to go into some type of a trance as you're sort of just staring at these blades of grass, counting them, listening intently, and you don't hear much. Over the course of the next 2 hours, you're sort of distracted, if you will, by just the fire in the background, the concern for the wariness of your companions, because you don't feel like it should. Just the whole situation itself is just concerning, and on the top of your mind is not necessarily your immediate surroundings. You hear wolves howl every once in a while, but they never get close enough to constitute what you would consider to be waking anybody up. So the woods are quiet this night, and their air grows colder. Your fire sputters as a low mist gathers around the edges of your camp, growing closer as the night wears on. By what you would consider morning, the fog hangs thick in the air, turning the trees around you into gray ghosts. When all of you sort of come to, and this includes you as well, observer, as you kind of look up and look around, you notice that the trees that you sort of started resting by now seem predominantly of a different type, and they don't seem to be the same ones that were there whenever you guys lay down to rest.
still have that uneasy feeling?
Yes, everybody does for sure. The fog is now the closest that it's ever been. It's within 100 feet now for sure, depending on what direction that you look.
Is it like daylight or dawn light? Or is it still
It's there's fog above now. For those that climb the trees, you can see it now eerily close. There's no vision of the sky above clearly, but there is a sun up. It's just a very cloudy, almost not raining, but gray day, if you will.
Okay.
And I am going to bring you guys to a map. Let me know if this works.
Oh, preload next time.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, when you right click on the thing, preload it.
Preload it. You guys all here now or no?
I think you have to.
Yes, but
Pop
I
tokens
just see a
out.
tiny little circle, and I don't see my own avatar.
Yes, you guys are now using the party token, which you
okay.
should see here. You guys see that?
Yep.
Is
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, just careful moving it there. I don't
we
want to
wanna
give you
Designated
too much
token
vision.
mover. Token mover. Token mover.
Burger murmur.
Yeah, if one of you wants to move this token based on whenever we find ourselves here, that would be great. Configure. I can make this scene something you guys can always access, right?
Go to navigation and there's a setting that lets players navigate to this map.
Gotcha. I'll look for that later.
You
Okay,
can
who
also
wants to
make-
be?
You can also
token
make the
control?
token a lot smaller if you want to like fit in the hex.
It's okay.
Quick question.
Giant.
Yes.
Are we gonna take a short break, and would this be a good time to do it, or about?
You need to smoke.
Well, I can wait. I'm just this.
I
sorry,
planned on
I
doing
just-
one.
I just took a bio break, so.
Um,
Sorry.
Grim, you need to get off in how many hours?
About an hour and a half would be nice if possible.
Okay. That's up to you, Sterling. Can you go that long or?
Yeah, no, I can go that long. I need to make
Okay.
another drink at some point, so I'll step away.
Yeah, just go.
Whatever is
Yeah, just go now. We could do a quick one right now if everybody wants to get up.
Yeah.
Or do whatever.
From my time, it's like an hour from midnight here, so and I have real life responsibilities.
Gross.
Oh,
I imagine
if you right click on the token, and there's a
Mhm.
little gear icon, you can adjust the token size.
Yeah, I wanted that size. I want a big
okay.
boy.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
It was like give it massive vision, or I just wanted it to be really noticeable on the map as you guys unlock more and more, because a regular size token would be tiny.
I have a party graphic if you want like a token that just says party.
I looked for one. How's it look?
I made it. Let me post it real quick. And
I looked online, but
Just looking for one.
fucking viruses. I don't have Google right now. It's very annoying.
give me a second to dig around in Foundry.
Yeah.
I have so many tokens.
You guys don't see anything else on the map, right?
I just see the
black.
circle.
Okay, cool.
Tokens.
There's a purple dot that says Raven in the bottom right.
Oh, that must just be a raven.
Where did I put the party token?
This is a big map. Holy Christmas.
Yeah, I see the Raven as well.
I have no idea if you like these tokens, but there you go.
Wow, it's very Republican Democrat.
I had a red team and a blue team. I have two parties.
Uh,
And then I have like, if you want to mark campsites, pow.
oh, that's cool. I don't want to mess with it now, but we can put it up to a vote. You guys want one of those, or want the default, or someone else can find
Wanna
something?
see
I
if
don't
can
care.
find one.
Yeah, I looked, but I don't think Yahoo was understanding what I was trying to say.
There was a website I found that has a bunch of like pretty cool tokens. Let me show you. Like this, the way I built my map in Cholt for TOA was like all these crazy things that I made one night.
Oh, that's cool.
There's a ton of them. I have so many.
Are we all back?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, so for those that wake, you all wake. Now this fog is rather close. You're not hungry or thirsty. It's only been a couple hours as far as you can tell, and even observer yourself, you are concerned with the fact that your surroundings have changed and you didn't seem to notice it as you would have hoped to. So, that being said, you guys can do what you'd like.
Something strange is afoot here. Here's our setting has changed. I
It
don't
appears
know when.
so.
It's probably work of the cultists.
Does it look like the fog is thicker or lesser in any direction?
To a bit, it is lesser in one direction. It's a bit further off, if you will. It seems to be heading down, away from this pool that you guys slept near or rested near, and now is you have no sense of direction. But there is a direction it's going. We'll call it east on the map you guys are now looking at.
Should we walk out of the fog?
I think the fog is walking into us.
Yeah, I would say that we just need to succumb to the fog. I mean, I don't know.
Whatever is holding power over these woods is holding power over the fog. And we should probably find out what it is sooner than later.
I think there's a fan blowing into my Siri.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks. Yeah, it works for me.
So we want to go into the fog again? Or out of the fog?
Only way forward is through.
Yeah, I would say go into the fog. That's my vote.
I'm not scared of whatever's in the fog. Let's go into it.
Okay. All of you are just going to kind of walk away from the direction that seems to be slightly lessened in fog. Is that correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. So all of you start to now move. I'll say it takes about a minute.
I think Observer has died of dysentery.
Yeah.
It happens. So all of you walk in the opposite direction of, so we'll just call it west now. So go ahead and move the token 1 to the west, whoever's going to be token
I thought you said
master.
I thought you said the fog was east.
The fog is lessened on the east.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I
So
could
you
move.
guys want to go into it, just go one click. I would just, yeah, that's fine. You can even go one more. Cool. For this token specifically, let's just use keys, and that should be close enough for now. I might control it at some points, but all right, stop there. Oh yeah, you're fine. So you guys approach the fog after a minute or two of walking, and it doesn't seem to be moving. It's almost defiantly now in front of you. What's in front of you is something that you've never seen before. It is a thick, moving, almost smoke-like fog in front of you. You put a hand inside, and nothing seems to immediately happen, but all of you are intent now and sort of facing this. Is that correct?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, so all of you enter, and over the course of the next couple seconds, you feel something wash over you. We'll call it one turn later. Everybody gets a point of exhaustion.
Oof.
That
Any idea how to mark that?
I can mark it on the token.
no exhaustion. I see.
Oh, because we don't have tokens, so we can't.
Is there a place on your character sheet that you mark that?
Kind of.
It's near the
but
right
not
side.
really.
Yeah, you can edit it on your character sheet.
Be under effects, right?
It's on attributes. Just the right side.
Ah.
Under the resources.
Where is it?
So on the
Character sheet.
main. Go ahead.
No, you got it.
On the main attributes tab of your character sheet, underneath your class resources by death saves, there's a exhaustion, and you can click in it and type in a number.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
can actually see it for the token.
Whoa.
Is anybody wanting to continue pressing on? There is what seems to be a clear understanding of the way back. All of you sort of feel this wash over your bodies, and most of you make audible sounds as the surprise hits you as you all of a sudden feel weakened.
I'm sorry. How do I set the exhaustion again?
Far left side or far right side of the main attributes tab, there's death saves, exhaustion, and inspiration, and you can manually edit the exhaustion amount.
Got it. Thank you.
Now, is it... I'm trying to figure out if I would actually become exhausted. Is it magical exhaustion?
We'll say yes.
Okay, yeah, that would affect me then.
Does anybody not know what exhaustion does in 5e?
I do not.
I'm reading up on it.
It
Level 1 is
sucks.
disadvantage on all ability checks. Level 2 is speed halved.
What is an ability check?
So
I think
acrobatics, animal handling, arcana, athletics, all of that stuff.
Okay.
Like
And
your
disadvantage
skills.
means you roll 2 dice and take the lower.
So yeah, exhaustion mechanically, first level is disadvantage on abilities, second level is half speed, third is disadvantage on attacks and saves, 4 is half hit points, 5 is speed to 0, 6 is dead. And I think you can
Pretty fucked up.
you can only get rid of it with a long rest, right?
Yep.
Unless you have a spell that specifically.
Can I do a survival check?
What are you looking for? But go ahead.
I'm looking for any tracks, any sign of movement through here, any sign that there's been life form and something that can lead us in the proper direction.
Yeah, go ahead. Royce, with your perfect survival check, you get the feeling that you need to get the fuck out of this fog. From what's around you, your senses are overwhelmed with the feeling of exhaustion. You don't see any tracks or trails that were any that would lead you to believe that anything's surviving out here or should survive out here. And as far as you can tell, these are the same woods that you see outside the fog. The fog is not magically hiding something from you. It's just sort of corralling you, if you will.
Okay, and quick question. That was supposed to be disadvantage on that, right? So I shouldn't have gotten the nat 20. I should have taken the
14 is fine.
Okay.
Oh, you can use control when you roll to roll disadvantage and alt to roll advantage if you care.
Okay, cool. So I'll just say to the party, yeah, I think it was a bad idea to go into the fog. I think we need to make our way out of here.
I'll say that all of you can leave without another turn in here. Does anybody want to continue to stay in the fog?
Hell no.
No.
I'm
Okay.
gonna move now.
Okay, so you guys all move out. You have your point. You leave the fog, and you are now looking at what seems to be a little bit clearer and a little bit nicer looking eastward, if you will, just for terms of the map direction. Sort of back through the pool area that you were in, and then to the east.
What's to the south?
Fog. North, fog.
So east is the clear direction?
Clearer, yes.
Clearer. Okay. That's my vote, is that we head in that direction.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay. So you guys walk for a couple minutes. You go past your pool, your campsite that you left behind. You see some smashed berries and some smashed logs and some blades of grass that were counted. You walk for a matter of minutes, and you kind of realize that as you continue, the fog is sort of moving with you in the direction that you're going. If you turn back around in the next couple minutes, you're going to not see the pool of water that you camped at. Is everybody fine with that?
So the fog's basically closing behind us as we walk.
Yes, and it's sort of opening in front of you to an extent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep on going.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so whoever is token controller, go ahead and move the token about 3-4 steps to the right. As you guys are going, all of you suddenly see this vision spike into your head as you're sort of almost drowsily sort of moseying along here, just concerned and unaware of exactly what's going on, and the fear is starting to set in a bit. As you travel down this so-called path between the fog, the mist thickens around you even more, seeming to grab at you and your companions. You see a solitary tree in the distance, its leafless branches seemingly weighted down by the oppressive fog itself. A lone raven perches on a low-hanging branch. Its black eyes seem to bore into you, searing through all your carefully built artifices into your very being. It opens its beak and screams a warning at you that you feel in your bones. Without warning, thousands of lesser other birds, their wings as gray as the fog itself, speed towards you. As they plummet directly towards your chest, their screams are drowned out briefly by the warning cries of the lone raven. The birds pass into and through you, leaving behind a cold that you have never felt before, a cold to your very core that vanishes, leaving only the sound of the wind as all of you snap out of this vision.
The fuck was that?
That was weird. Can I do some kind of check on the raven, like a perception check or something? Just
You no longer see that raven. All of that, as far as you can tell, was something that was seen in your mind as you sort of readjust now, and no longer not comfortable at all. But the real fog around you is starting to perpetuate your mind, if you will. So it seems that as you guys were sort of strolling here, trying to stay close and stay sane, your mind may now be playing tricks on you as well.
You guys all see a raven, birds and shit, and
yeah, it doesn't feel quite natural. It feels like something is trying to impede our progress and maybe steer us away. But I don't know if we should listen to it.
I mean, the other option is to go back into that fog.
Right.
Does anybody want me to reread any of that? You guys all got it?
Basically, you needle jacked us with a raven needle.
Yep. So if you guys would like to continue in the same path, which now seems that you're being basically led through the fog, is anybody not okay with being led through the fog at this point?
I think that's a no.
It beats the alternative.
Yeah, I don't feel like we have much of a choice. We just have to get to a point
Okay.
where we're not getting exhausted or attacked by ghost ravens.
Token controller, go ahead and move to the right 4 more. An unknown amount of time is going to pass over the course of the next, we'll call it session here. So if you have questions about time, feel free to ask me, but I may not have a good answer for you. You guys are tired and then awake. You guys are fearful and then confident. Emotions are blowing through you as quick as the fog is rolling around you. However, you are staying close to each other, and at least that is the one benefit that you have. As you, let me see. So as you travel down the same path that you've been on, the mist thickens again before you, forming into the shape of an elaborately carved, covered wagon, beckoned in streamers and exotically formed brass fittings. As you approach the rear door, you see a wizened old matriarch, her gnarled old fingers laying out cards upon an oaken table that seems to be of hand carved. She speaks softly to herself, her voice barely audible over the sound of the cards. Warriors come, she says. Flick, as she flicks a card. More toys for Strahd. Flick. Wait, not just warriors. Flick. Adventurers. Flick. It could be so much more. What will they be? What will become of them? Flick. She laughs out. She then shoots a glare at all of you. As she looks up, all of you realizing you're in the same vision as well. She looks directly into your eyes and gazes in silence. She then states, "You come and see me when you get here. We have much we need to discuss. The woman and her wagon dissipates dramatically as you are sucked away from the scene. The fog, as you have been accustomed to now, goes back around you. You reach out to touch at anything, but it's gone. The landing of her cards rings in your ears. Flick, flick, flick.
Well, that was weird.
Anyone recognize that woman?
Were there any symbols or anything on the cart?
Nothing that stands out. The deck itself seems to be of some type of magical, like tarot card deck, that you might see in like a fortune teller's shack. The cart itself is elaborate. It was beautiful, all things considered, but it's not of anything that you're familiar with, specifically at this point. But you definitely be able to pick out its distinguished furnishings, if you will, if you saw anything close to it, or the exact same cart again. The woman seemed extraordinarily old, and also seemed to have definitely been speaking to you specifically.
So I'm rolling religion there just to see if there's any like any faiths I would know of that are.
Let me see. You rolled 2 of the same.
I know, right? Just
you
Foundry dice are fucked, man.
right. You see symbols you're not immediately familiar with. Make a note that if you see them again, you'd recognize them. You believe it's a deity that you're not aware of. There was a totem, let's say, in her wagon that you sort of stood out, as it was hanging in the back, or a trinket. Let's say it was a trinket that she was wearing on a ring, as you were sort of zoomed in on the cards that she was turning and flicking back and forth. You noticed a symbol that is not immediately noticed or immediately recognized, but if you guessed would have some type of deity tied to it. It was in the shape of, well, let me see. This was the shape. I'll put it in the Discord.
Gonna make me draw that shit, Jesus Christ.
And you actually saw 2 of them. Hold on.
Oh, Jack, careful linking that, because when I opened it in a hyperlink, it gave me like a name.
Oh, did it? That's fine.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Image itself.
Don't open it. Don't open it.
It's fine. It will not go unknown forever. But you don't recognize it at this point.
I'm just drawing a copy of it on my notes.
Sure.
She's actually Strahd.
She's actually Strahd.
Plot twist.
Perfect.
Level 1, final boss.
Don't you like my wagon?
The fog continues to try and corral you guys down to the east. You guys good to do that? Did you guys miss this section? Weird.
It might
Fog
be
of War.
easier for you because
Yeah. I'll do it.
It's a
So you
hex-
guys continue traveling.
the hex grid is not,
Not great for large tokens or tokens at all.
or for
After
or
what
no
seems
Yeah.
what seems like hours go by, no more visions. All of you are kind of waiting on the edge of your sanity, basically waiting for something to spike into your mind and show you something. You almost want it to happen just to learn anything more that you can of the situation that you found yourself in. However, eventually a little bit of brightness starts to come over the area that you are in, and you actually come to the edge of some woods. You guys don't see anything here, do you?
Nope.
No. Okay, cool.
It looked like maybe 3.
So you come to an actual path. Let me see here.
I don't have drawing tools. Boo.
So it says black pools of water stand like dark mirrors in and around the muddy roadway that you find yourself now on. Giant trees loom on both sides of the road, their branches clawing at the mists. So you finally seem to have found yourself a road. The fog is going to continue to sort of push you now to what you would consider the east at this point until you happen upon a gate. The fog spills out of the forest to swallow up the road behind you. Ahead, jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road, are high stone buttresses looming gray in the fog. Huge iron gates hang in the stonework. Dew clings with cold tenacity to the rusted bars. Two headless statues of armed guardians flank the gate, their heads now lying among the weeds at their feet. They greet you only with silence. And I actually have the gates for you. Gates, image, show to players. I don't know. I think that goes to handouts. You can try.
I was so close in my drawing. I'm so
To the
happy.
gates?
This is what we come across.
Yes. The fog dissipates in front of you, and you guys walk up to an enormous gate. The bars are open, and the statues are headless.
I would like to check for any tracks.
At this point, without even a roll, it seems as though no one has walked through here in a very long time, from what you can tell. Either the rain that you assume based on the greenery is rather insistent and has washed those away, or this has simply not been traveled on recently.
Is the gate open?
Yes.
I literally drew that.
Perfect.
And then you showed that. I was like, this is so perfect for me.
That's awesome.
My shitty ass drawing skills. Notice me, senpai. Okay, are there any markings on the statues that I would recognize?
You can roll a perception check, but you'd also need to go all the way up to them. So if you guys are fine with that, or those that would like to approach the gate, just let that be known.
Can I look at the map and see if there's any indication of this gate?
The map you have at this point from Blythewood seems to be completely useless. There was a main road. None of this is notated on that map. You get the feeling that you are not in the same area by any means. The fact that the unnatural fog is upon you, the visions that have never come across your mind before, and then just the complete change in the way the trees look and everything else leads you to believe, no matter how unsettling it is, that you are just in a different place. However, if you had to guess, this was the gate to that different place.
Is the fog still encroaching behind us?
Not encroaching. When you stop, it stops. It keeps a steady sort of presence behind you, but you have room. It's not like right on your ass. I assume that it's, within, let's say, 50, 60, 70 yards of where you are.
But it's like
so
ushering us like in this direction.
No, if you stop, it stops. It's not going to push you and take over you if you were to camp here, as far as you can tell. But it's also doesn't seem to ever want to back off. It has definitely over time led you to this gate.
We could just, go back in it and get exhausted until we die.
And you could. Free will characters.
Well, maybe if we go through this, we'll meet that woman we saw. That woman in the vision chat. What race was she? Was she human?
She, very old, human. Yes, she's. The reason I hesitate is just because I want to emphasize how incredibly old she seems. Like, she almost seems like she shouldn't be alive, like almost crone-like. But yes, a woman she was a human at some point. She may be like borderline like witch, but definitely a humanoid woman.
Did she have a wart?
Yes, right on her nose.
God,
Stereotypical as can be.
God.
I can actually show you her. Just don't know if it says her name. I don't know how to show token art. View character artwork and then show to players. There you go. I think you're gonna get a name from that, but that's all right.
Oh God, I feel suddenly less good.
You guys all see that?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, are we all in agreement that this is the direction that we're wanting to head in?
I mean, I don't see that we have too much other choice.
Right.
Because we can try the mist again, but that seems
Ill-advised. Yeah. So I would like to approach the gate and the statues and do a perception check and see if I can discern any symbols or
Sure.
any kind of markings or anything.
Go ahead.
What was it to do disadvantage? Control?
Yeah, control is disadvantage.
Oof.
Yikes. All you can tell is they're incredibly old. You're impressed by the level of craftsmanship to make these, but if you had to guess, you would say hundreds of years old. No religious ties, from what you can tell. If you had to guess, somebody with a lot of wealth and time erected these, but they've obviously not kept them up.
Hey, how do you feel about multiple people rolling the same roll on something?
It kind of depends on what it is. I'll just kind of tell you to fuck off if I don't like it. Kind of play it
Oh,
by
hey,
to F off.
family restaurant here. Tone it down.
Family restaurant.
I say we find out what lies on the other side, what awaits us. Clearly, something is driving us to this place. It's either good or bad, but there's only one way to find out.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yep.
And I start walking.
Okay. All of you proceed through.
I follow.
Okay. So all of you get under this gate. You now go through the gates themselves. There's a pretty sizable gap between them. When you're walking through, you'd guess that they'd probably take an incredible amount of strength or like mechanism to actually close them. However, when you're just far enough away to where you couldn't easily run to them, behind you, you hear an almost deafening scrape and screech as old machinery comes to life and starts to close the gate behind you.
Well, we've gone this far.
Well, shit.
With a solid sort of thud, if you will, not even making an incredibly clean connection. It's so old. You sense that even when it's closed, you could possibly sneak through it still, or not sneak, but just kind of squeeze through the gap it's made still because of the lack of upkeep on this thing. But definitely unsettling in the sense that it seems to have known that you were here. Around you now are towering trees whose tops are lost in the heavy gray fog, blocking out all but a death gray light. The tree trunks are unnaturally close to one another, and the woods have the silence of a forgotten grave, yet exude the feeling of an unvoiced scream. I'll say all of you, as you sort of come out from this now, you're just sort of over it at this point, this feeling of being meandered through this area. You all sense now the very specific smell of death in the air.
Do you guys smell that?
It smells like your breath when you woke up.
Smells like your breath when you go to sleep.
Just smells like your breath.
Nice. Fucking got him.
Is the scent
we-
coming from a direction, or is it just like all
Yes,
around us?
you feel. So let's say it's to the north. It's pretty potent, pretty fresh, and pretty strong. Kind of right where his series marker was, just north of where you guys are at.
Like from the woods?
North, just into the woods. You're not sure exactly how far, but as strong as it is, it doesn't seem. You don't feel like you'd have to go very far to find its source.
I take just I step up to the edge of the woods and see if I can see or perceive where the smell might be coming from.
Yeah, so you sort of just head to the north a bit. Definitely reluctant to find yourself back in those woods, but the foul scent leads you to a human corpse half buried in the underbrush about 15 feet from the road. The young man appears to have been a commoner. His muddy clothes are torn and raked with claw marks. Crows have been at the body, which is surrounded by paw prints as well. The man has obviously been dead for several days. He holds a crumpled envelope in one hand.
Okay, I pick up the envelope.
Okay.
What does it say?
Gotta find it. Sorry, I'm getting used to this. Version 2.
I can't read, guys. Someone read this.
There you go. Should be in your should be in your handouts.
My hand. I see it popped up on my screen, but where do I check my handouts?
I think it's top right. It's gonna be journal, I think.
Which,
Where do
it
handouts
just shows
go?
basic rules. I think you have to like right click it to make it visible to players whenever. I think.
I lost it.
It says showed the texts. Let's try it again.
Can you put it on my screen again, please?
I think I just tried. Is it not there?
So
Show to players. Showed the text content of handout to all players.
Okay, I see it. I just don't
Okay.
see like an asset for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, is there a way to like save this in our notes or something?
I don't know. In Roll20, it would just keep it there in handouts.
can you right click on the handout and see what the permissions are?
No, it doesn't have. Oh, I can put it into player handouts and save. Oh wait, I probably didn't do anything. I'm not sure. I'll add that to my list of things to look into. But you guys can read it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does somebody want to read it?
Hail thee of might and valor. I, the burgomaster of Barovia, send you honor with despair. My adopted daughter, the fair Irina Kolyana, has been these past nights bitten by a vampire. For over 400 years, this creature has drained the lifeblood of my people. Now, my dear Irina languishes and dies from an unholy wound caused by this vile beast. He has become too powerful to conquer. So I say to you, give us up for dead and encircle this land with the symbols of good. Let holy men call upon their power, that the devil may be contained within the walls of weeping Barovia. Leave our sorrows to our graves and save the world from this evil fate of ours. There is much wealth entrapped in this community. Return for your reward after we are all departed for a better life. Kolyan Indirovich, Burgomaster.
Can we see what else the commoner had on him? Can I search his body to see if he had any other trinkets or any other goods?
Sure. Let me see. You would have to guess he was. I mean, he was so close to this gate. He was probably trying to get some outside help or just escape this area. In terms of The parchment's warm and flimsy. Let me see. Yeah, there's nothing else on the body. He wasn't traveling with much of anything, and his body's so ravaged at this point by not only birds, but also what you'd assume to be wolves as well, that there's nothing of any value on him.
Can I tell like how recently he died?
Yeah, you'd say it's been probably about 2 days.
And can I see the paw tracks? Can I see where they go?
They're numerous, but they do seem to, in general, they don't seem to be on the main path, if you will. They head back into the woods.
Okay.
Can I do like a investigation or perception check to try to figure out what killed him?
Sure. You can do like a medicine check.
Medicine. Okay. Lovely.
It's hard to tell exactly, but what definitely stands out is just gashes across his throat. It's pretty clear that there were some claws that at some point made it across his throat. Whether or not that was first or not is up in the air.
Do any of us, or I can only speak for myself, do I recognize the name or the area, Barovia?
You don't, and you don't. For the person that is presumably in front of you, or was in front of you, is in front of you, and the town itself, or the area, you do not either.
So, we have a letter telling us to go away, and after everybody's dead, come back
for all the riches. Yes.
This is...
And it was signed by a burromaster, which for those that don't know is effectively like a mayor. So it seems like a mayor was kind of like sending out somebody, either someone beloved or someone hated, to try and just keep people away or get some outside help or something. And this individual did not make it very far, or maybe did make it far overall, but didn't make it past the gate at least. As you guys are sort of meandering here just off the trail, you do hear wolves howl in the distance to the north as well. You're maybe about 15 feet kind of into the woods, if you will, and then to your north, there's some wolves. They seem a bit off. Not sure how familiar you guys are with different wolves, but they seem to be a bit different from the ones you heard earlier. And then as you are kind of trying to discern the differences, you sort of hear the similar sound of a wolf as well. So two maybe different breeds, if you will.
Can I make an animal handling check to see if I can discern?
Not animal handling. You can do like a knowledge nature.
Oh, sorry, it needs to be disadvantage, right?
Yep.
Well, 7 won't do it anyway, so.
6. You're not exactly sure. To you, they sound almost indiscernible, but there just seems to be maybe one is just older, or maybe one is younger. It's a noticeable difference that popped into your head, but then you really couldn't get to a conclusion necessarily.
Should we back out of the woods?
Yeah, we should continue on the path and get away from these wolves if we can.
And there was nothing of note on the corpse?
That is correct. Other than the letter, that is it.
Just lastly on the corpse, is there any is there any markings or any symbols that would determine who this individual was, or like if he had a certain status or a rank or anything like that?
Overall, you look at the clothing from what you can tell, and it looks pretty bad. You'd say poor, but it's hard to compare it to. You have nothing else to compare it to in this area. This was a person that was from Blythewood, you might consider them to be on the lower end of society. But it's also shredded and covered in blood, so
Okay.
it doesn't look like finely handmade stuff. But
Okay. I say we continue moving on, move away from these wolves.
okay, everyone's fine with that?
Yep.
Perfect. As you continue, a nice thunderstorm breaks in. You guys continue down this road, and start to come to an actual clearing, which is good. A bit of the fog, it's good and bad. The fog now seems ever present, and there's no trees to cover it up. There's a pretty consistent circle, if you will, ish, not perfect circle, around you as you're traveling now that seems to be basically within about 60 to 70 yards all the time. For anyone that has rain gear or cares about getting wet, you definitely put up hoods, definitely cover up sacks and pouches as a heavy rain comes over this area that you are currently in. Pools of water start to form on the ground as you're walking, and now no longer are you just upset and confused and scared from being completely lost, but now you're also soaking wet, aside from whatever coverage that you have. This continues for about an hour or two. Does anybody want to do anything specific during that walk, or can I just skip ahead?
I'm good with skipping
We
ahead.
can skip ahead.
Okay, you guys are thoroughly drenched now at this point, and have seen basically no sign of letting up. You're getting hungry and you're getting cold as well. Let's see here. In the distance, through the rain and the fog, you see a light. The first one that you've seen since coming to this area. It seems to be just a few feet off the ground. As you approach even closer, you realize that the light is being held by a young girl. She looks concerned and is trying to comfort who you would assume is her crying brother next to her. You do notice now, as the fog breaks out a bit, you approach not a town, not a village, but like a homestead, if you will. It's on the right side of the road, maybe at just the end of the fog now. So you're looking at 70, 80 yards at most now. The building in the center, there are 3 buildings total, seems to be in decent looking shape. There's actually a light inside that seems to be on and flickering, a torch or a fire place. And there is a concerned, very young girl, maybe 9 or 10, outside holding a lantern, and she is kind of looking around, sort of pacing around, if you will, and she's trying to comfort her definitely younger, presumably brother, who's holding on to looks to be a toy as far as you can tell. They don't have an umbrella. They're getting drenched at this point as well, and they seem to take notice of you at the similar time that you guys take notice of them. The girl at this point is just kind of staring, holding this lantern up, almost as if she's surprised to see someone. But a look of like almost a slight smile comes over her face as she sort of like starts to walk forward a bit, just trying to see as far as she can, and kind of like looking as if she's just trying to get closer.
So I'll walk forward, and I guess I'll walk forward to her kind of like non-threateningly.
Okay.
And say like, "Hey, what's wrong? Are you two okay?"
Sure. So at the sound of your voice, she's almost startled, as if you're not sure what she was expecting, but for some reason this catches her a bit off guard. She takes a couple steps back, now looking more concerned as she realizes there are 4 of you in total. Some of you are much larger than you looked at a distance now. She's still holding this little oil lamp. It seems to be of like a decent manufacturer, like maker. It's in pretty good shape. She's holding it up still, and she's just kind of timidly kind of checking all of you out, and she kind of pushes her brother sort of beside her, and she kind of calls out now as you're not within like melee range. Let's say you're about 20, 30 feet away at this point. And she goes, can you help me?
What do you need help with?
But she looks at you and she starts to tear up a bit. She goes, our parents are inside and we heard the monster. But my little brother, he's crying upstairs and we just need help.
Or if anybody else wants to do that, I would like to insight check, or if somebody else has some better stats on that. Maybe
Go for
I just need to do it, yeah. Is that okay, Shanner?
Oh yeah.
Oh, somebody else went, that's fine.
Well, that was good.
Well,
You definitely believe her. She looks like a little girl. I'm trying to find the photo. I uploaded it, but I don't know where I put it.
can I do one as well, or no?
Sure.
Nice.
As far you just want to see if she's telling the truth.
Yes.
Yeah, she seems to be actually terrified, and she seems to be telling the truth. She doesn't look like she wants to be outside. She'd probably rather be inside her house, but she seems terrified of what's in there. She's just finding it kind of difficult to fully express herself, as she doesn't know who you are and she doesn't really know what to do. And her brother is kind of whimpering, crying, and not being very helpful behind her, if you will.
Sure. And she said what about her parents and a monster? Can you repeat that?
She said that there's a monster down, or she said, hold on, fuck. What did she say?
There's a monster in the house with her parents. Or, I think she said.
She said there's a monster in our house, and then she points to a tall brick row house that has seen better days. The windows are lit on the bottom floor, it seems. There's a grated portico on the ground floor, and a rusty gate is slightly ajar. The houses on either side are abandoned. Their windows and doors are boarded up. She said there's a monster in our house, and she cried out that like her little baby brother is upstairs, and she's concerned.
Do you know what kind of monster?
She kind of shakes her head and she kind of looks down, like sort of like ashamed. She goes, "No, mom and dad always make him stop yelling, but we've never seen him. We just know he's there." Fuck is this upload, dude? Okay, I found it. There's the picture of the two kids.
Is it a man or a beast? Do you know?
She kind of looks at you quizzically and goes, What do you mean?"
2 legs or 4?
Well, like I said, we've never seen it. The mom and dad always go and make him stop. Sometimes it sounds different, but tonight it was really scary, and usually they come back, but they're not back yet, and I don't know. And she kind of starts to cry.
So I draw my axe and just start walking towards the house.
Okay.
Do you know what they do in order to make it stop?
She looks up at you like through tears. She kind of wipes them away, ironically in the pouring rain. But she goes, "No. Sometimes they're gone for a while, but they always come back. But tonight, the monster kept making noise, and then they haven't been back, and it seems like a long time has gone by."
I'm gonna diligently start following Mimrak.
Okay.
I'll shout out, or I'll call out to them as I follow the others. Like, go to one of the other houses, stand under the porch, or get out of the rain.
She looks at you and she shakes her head. She's like, No. There's no other houses. They're just abandoned, as far as I know. But I'll stand on the portico here once you guys are inside.
We have a map visual.
You will very shortly.
Is there anywhere else you can go? Is there anyone near here?
I'm okay in the rain. We live far out of town, but Barovia is not too far. But I can't walk there in the dark. Just just if you can just find our parents, that just please. And she starts to cry again.
Did she say Barovia?
Yes.
Saying to the group.
Isn't
Little
that-
girl. I look
Where
at
is
the little girl.
Barovia?
She looks at you and like tears in her eyes. Her brother's like kind of like talking, like rambling about something, and she kind of points to the east down the road. She goes, I don't know. It's that way.
Little girl, what is the name of this village?
I don't I just call it home. I don't know. We don't live near people. But we see the kids sometimes when we go into town. But yeah, we get our toys from Valaki sometimes, but I haven't been there in a really long time, like a really long time. She kind of seems a bit more calm now as she's talking about like memories and stuff. I'm not going to make tokens for them, but I will bring you guys to the house. I forgot to preload, sorry.
As
Do
we're walking up, I give the barbarian vigilant blessing.
Okay.
That's advantage on initiative rolls. So
Okay.
it'll cancel out with the disadvantage we all have.
Okay.
what skill check would it be to figure out where Barovia is? If I know where it is.
You would need like a knowledge, like a history check. But it's something that you've never heard of. And I know you're going to try and proc Sage. With Sage even, it's
Actually, it's gonna collect twice. Yeah, bad. Take the first one. So 10.
it's Sage says that if you don't know something, you hold on, I just want to get an idea of what you guys can and cannot see. You only thing you guys can see is these three
doors.
here.
I
Okay.
clicked on them. I probably
Okay, you're good.
have.
And then observer, are you going to be assumed to be emitting light this whole time, or because I'll just need to adjust that because you won't see in.
I can cast light on him, like at will.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna do that now. But that's also gonna be assuming that you're also giving off light. So you guys want to wait till that's needed, because I will roleplay you're giving off light when the rest of you don't need to.
Let's see.
You know what I'm saying?
No light for now then.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
I douse it. Like I put it on his staff and then I take it back.
Okay. So. Let me see.
It says your DM might rule that the knowledge you seek is secreted away in almost inaccessible place, or that simply cannot be found.
You have read once, or I'll say once. What's your intelligence? Let me see.
11.
You've never heard of it, and it doesn't proc Sage at all. You're sort of dumbfounded by the lack of knowledge of that town. Or Valaki itself.
Alright, well, I'll turn to the group and be like, have you guys ever heard of Valaki or Barovia? I've never heard of these places, and I feel like we should have heard if it wasn't so far away from the town we were in originally.
I give him a grunt and I look at him and said, maybe let's ask the monster. And I start to push into the house.
Okay.
I follow.
So you guys are free to move forward at this point. Just don't open doors without asking. And then I am testing out Snap 2 for all doors. So you guys might proc door sight without intentionally doing so. If you ever see a sliver of like fog of war disappear, just let me know so I can learn what the issue is. You know what I'm talking about? Like if a wall is not complete.
So
I opened
you've
this
got
door.
that on Hale. Or where Hale's that door north of us all.
I opened this though.
Oh, Hale already did?
Yeah, and then I closed it.
I don't see it. It's procking. I don't see it. Vision. Oh, there you go. Oh, now I see it. Okay. Yes. So let me
And
start.
we can see into that room as we walk by the door down there.
Yes, those are correct. You see inside a very nice looking living room, if you will. If you had to, you call it probably like a den. There are multiple padded chairs draped in animal furs, facing a hearth that is looks very nice right now, considering you guys are all drenched. There's an oak table between them supporting what looks to be sort of glasses for maybe wine or something, and there's a chandelier that hangs from above. It is not currently lit, just the hearth itself. There are multiple cabinets and I guess you could say like locks and things inside.
Is that a dog or
That is a wolf. Do a perception check because it does kind of strike you. Nice vision there.
I mean, I can see through the window.
Yeah. No, I was being serious. Like nice observation.
Yeah.
Um,
Alright, so
the-
quality control, and you said perception.
So it's not moving. You kind of stop and you kind of stare for a second. The little girl, she also notices that you kind of stop and she looks and maybe she even says like, "Those are just stuffed. They scare me at night too. Daddy always likes to hunt the wolves. He hates them." You presume that she is telling the truth, and as you kind of look for a second, now with like keen eyes, you realize that there are multiple stuffed wolves inside this den. Cool.
So it looks like we got 2 rooms to go through.
So that door is open. You guys less dark on the fog. Let me see. Are you guys? It's hard for me. Well, I think it's mimicking nighttime right now. If it seems too dark overall, guys, let me know. I'll try and adjust it. But my view is very different. So you guys can enter that next room. This is gonna be a wrought iron gate with hinges on one side and a lock on the other fills the archway of this stone portico. Oil lamps hang from the portico ceilings by chains, flanking a set of oak doors that open into a grand foyer. Hanging on the south wall of the foyer is a shield emblazoned with a coat of arms, a stylized golden windmill on a red field, flanked by framed portraits of stony-faced aristocrats. Mahogany-framed double doors lead from the foyer into another room beyond. So you guys can enter there, it's fine. As you guys go in, the 2 kids outside are like, please hurry back. We'll be right out here. And they're just kind of standing out of the rain right here where I just pinged.
Okay.
Okay. So this next room is dark. You're now in what you consider to be a main hall. Mounted on the wood panel walls are ornately sculpted images of vines, flowers. This room is immaculate for those that can see in here. There's hand-carved wood everywhere. Presume that if there's no light, there could be light if you guys want to light it. So anything that looks like a fireplace, or assume there's lamps throughout, I'll stop mentioning that. Just let me know if you have some way of lighting that or would like to, and I can do that as needed.
I am curious, but so outside, I know you said something about the darkness. I cannot see anything around my character. Is that intended? Like it's just pure black?
Because you don't have any dark vision, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nighttime.
But it's literally
Yes.
like you can't see anything at all.
So you might need to
yes.
just drag his character if he's following us.
No,
I'm on the outside of the building right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're in light here. There's no light here, so you can't see anything.
There's like no moonlight or anything?
No. It's very cloudy, and it's raining.
God damn.
That's
Alright, I'm gonna tell the group, I'm gonna look on the outside of the building. Can you go ahead and cast light on my staff?
Sure. I have cast light on his staff.
Is it 20 and 20? So it's
40. Yeah.
40
it's
20
feet.
20, 20 bright light, 20 dim light.
Does it stack it itself? You don't have to do the math.
There's a setting for it in that mod that does. Oh, do you have the torch mod?
I don't think I do.
So there's a mod that like lets you have a button on the token HUD that just activates and
Oh,
deactivates
that's
light.
a torch. Oh, that's so nice. Okay.
Sorry, I forgot about that one.
I might have it. I just don't.
So it looks like
think
I
so.
only have 20 bright and no dim. Which
So
is-
put 20 bright and 40 dim.
And 40.
And
Okay, that's what I was
yeah,
wondering.
That's the setting. You can also just manually adjust it on the token, like as you go.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm, for what it's worth, I'm just kind of trying to stay close to the barbarian.
Okay.
Like,
I'm
I'm basically like letting him lead the way, but also staying really close in case shit happens.
Okay.
Is this the barbarian right here?
Yes.
You can also put nameplates on our characters if you want.
How do I do that?
Shatner has to do it if you right-click on the token. There's like the name visibility. It's in the settings on the token. And then you can show if the name is visible on hover, always, for owner, blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of
Always
settings.
for everyone.
That's a decent way to do it, I find.
Also, quick question. I'm curious as to why my token is not showing up on this. Or can you guys see it? Because I just see like
I see the hood.
gray hooded figure.
I just see the hood, yeah.
It's using the default.
Oh, you know what? I pre-dragged you guys. That's why. Oh, there you go. There's your updated one.
Oh, look
God.
at that.
Oh, hey, you can also
All
set
right.
short names because my name's really long. If you just want to set it to Toto, as opposed to Toto von Hundenwald.
There we go.
There you go.
Toto von Hundendalgover Sugar.
It's always that one guy.
Yep.
I
It's
gotta
gotta
keep
make
on
a
moving, Shatter.
ridiculous name.
My brother's character's name is Theodore. He has 4 names. Anyway,
Oh God.
it's amazing.
I'm gonna move into the
Nice.
little living room here.
Okay. Observer is not with you. Just so you guys know. Observer,
He's
you have
casing
correct
the
sight. Fine.
Yeah.
So which room you're going into? That one. Yep. Go ahead. That's fine. Yeah, there's a fireplace in here. There's a stag's head. Positioned around the outskirts of the room are 3 stuffed wolves. 2 padded chairs are draped in animal furs facing the hearth with an oak. 2 carved wooden goblets, a pipe rack, and a candelabrum are all on that table as well. A chandelier hangs that is unlit from above. 2 cabinets stand against the walls on the... What do we have here? On the east, or excuse me, the west.
Do you want a grammar note?
What was that?
Do you want a word note? Because I think it's relevant for this game. Candelabrum.
Oh, thank you, candelabrum. Yeah, I've never seen it before. What the hell is that? Just like a candle holder thing?
It's like
a
an
candlestick?
ornate candle holder, like
Candelabrum.
fucking Lumiere from
Gotcha.
Beauty and the-
Yeah.
He is a animate candelabrum.
Okay. So the cabinet. See, I hate when they don't do like. So, fucking hate that. They perpetually set these things up without north being north, and I don't know why they do that.
Welcome to Nazi. Prepare
It's
to be frustrated.
so fucking dumb. Let me convert all these. So the north cabinet is locked.
This one?
No, we'll do north, like traditional north. Oh, you guys can see the north, huh?
No, I was just guessing based on my experience.
Did you guys see it here? No.
What do we
So is there a wall there for like the? So we can't see. Let me move my character. Right. Oh Jesus, walls.
I put my
hold on.
Streamlabs chat if you want to see what I can see.
Yeah.
So like right here, I'm at the edge of a wall.
Okay,
Like, it's
there's a
all
compass
black.
there.
Like, and
Yeah,
this
that's
is a
just
corner.
that's. Yeah, you're good. That's correct. There's a compass there for me, but there's not one for you. So, okay, we'll call it north is always going to be up,
Or just
as long as I can
just draw
convert
north
things.
on the map with the draw tool.
I could do that too.
Sorry to backseat. Man.
No, please do while I learn.
You can just like draw tool and just draw like the fucking compass rose and then
Boom.
You can see. Boom. Awesome.
Okay, you guys see that? Outside?
Yep.
So this way is north over here.
So west is north.
Yes.
Got it.
Annoying as that is. So there is 2 cabinets stand against the walls. The east cabinet is locked, and the north cabinet is unlocked.
All right.
Can I
I'm
hear
gonna-
anything?
You don't. You hear the fire kind of crackling, and you hear the slight, as you try to peer now, you hear the slight sobs of the little boy outside as he's still trying to be calmed down. He's going from a state of, like terror and he's really scared. It's dark, it's late, it's raining, and he doesn't know where his parents are. So other than that, no.
Little elf man, come here. And I beckon
Yo.
for Royce to come over, and I tell him to check these cabinets for traps.
So I would like to do so.
Okay. Go ahead and do a perception check.
Oh,
2
it's a
rolls.
disadvantage, yeah. I'll take it.
Sure. They don't seem to be trapped. They are of high quality. So you assume that if you were going to try and pick these locks, it would be somewhat difficult, but they don't seem to be trapped, either of them.
And we cannot pick locks without thieves' tools, is that correct?
That's usually how it is, right, Grim? I think you have to have the tools to even roll the
Yeah,
dexterity check.
I think you have to have tools or a key or something.
Yeah, I don't have any tools
What-
on me.
The cabinet to the north, so to my player's left. You said this one is unlocked?
That's correct.
Okay, open it.
Okay.
See what's inside.
Inside is a nice set of playing cards and an assortment of beautifully blown wine glasses.
Okay, I take the playing cards.
Okay.
What do you got there, Vimrak?
Playing cards.
For the next time you guys are waiting for detect magic.
Can I see him?
No.
Anything
I
you need from
I
me,
quickly-
observer back there?
I quickly
Yeah,
stash
if
the
I can
cards.
It's right if I move.
Yeah, you're good. The areas should be safe.
I'm kind of
Free to
milling
move.
about, and I shout to the guys in the room below, like, if you're happily done looting, should we maybe find this monster?
Yeah, I'll be up in just 1 second, and then I move to the other cabinet that's locked,
Okay.
and I'm gonna attempt to forcefully open it.
Okay. What are you gonna use? Just the great axe?
What is it made of?
It's made of metal, but it's more on the side of ornate as opposed to secure. So you assume that with a little bit of tinkering, you could probably just pop the locking mechanism off from the side.
Okay, yeah, I'll attempt to do that with
Good.
my great axe, please.
Okay, just roll a dexterity check just for the shits and giggles.
And that's disadvantage, right?
Yep,
Yes.
Everything.
And it's alt to do that.
Control.
Control.
In shadow, just so you know, I could see a line, a diagonal line from the top left here to here.
There's a lot of
Interesting.
weird door action going on.
Oh yeah, that's not too
Um,
bad at least.
Oh, sorry. Check.
While he's rolling that, so you see that curved stairwell?
Yeah.
That's where I would use, like, DF curvy walls.
Oh, gotcha. Instead of the bunch of little lines.
Yeah, it'll automatically make curves for you. It's pretty cool.
That is cool. The so you don't have a problem. You scratch it up pretty good. Obviously, great axe against this thing, but you don't have an issue like popping this off. It makes a pretty sizable noise or resounding noise, if you will, as it kind of just like pops out of a socket inside. It kind of rings a bit. The little girl outside kind of yells in. She's like, "What was that?"
It's the monster. Don't look.
She doesn't seem to have any response. Inside, it was windowless, so you're not sure what was in here. You open it up, and inside is a heavy crossbow, a light crossbow, and a hand crossbow, and there's 20 bolts for each weapon.
Okay, I take them all.
Okay. I don't know if you... Okay, sure. You
Are
can take them.
we
It's fine.
playing with encumbrance, or do you care?
I don't care so much. I might say spread those out a bit, just because like a heavy crossbow and a light crossbow and a hand crossbow all in the same character is a bit odd.
I have a carrying capacity of 300 pounds.
All right, that's fine. Fuck it.
Sorry, so just I'm gonna distribute later. I just was looting and moving.
Yeah.
So it's a heavy crossbow, light crossbow, and what else?
And a hand crossbow. And there's 20 bolts, so 20 ammunition for each one. There's standard ammunition. You guys are actually free to open doors on this level. Observer, you cannot open doors. Those are windows that are basically like closed up. So backside.
There's a window wall if you care.
What's up?
There's a window wall type.
There is? Okay. Yeah.
Doors right there.
Yeah, these are not doors. I defaulted to all those, and I didn't want to change them for everyone, so that's why I just opened the ones up front. Nothing on the outside, Observer. The top of the house seems very quiet. It is a 4-story house, from what you'd say. Probably 2 standard stories and an attic as well. So there's a lot of home here overall.
So does this stairwell like just spiral up to a balcony above or something?
It goes up to another floor. Directly above you is a ceiling, a roof.
Okay, so I can't go like here and see anything.
No, you can. If you want to go, I mean, like halfway up the stairs, what do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a direct spiral up to the 3rd floor, is how I want to say it. So I will put you. Oh no, how do I just move you without giving you vision? Oh God. Okay. You are there. So Vimrak, you opened that door into a dining hall that is full of a feast's worth of amazing looking food. From what you can tell, it looks like fresh fruits and vegetables, and also like an entire roasted some type of poultry there. There's all the fixins as well. Nothing is lit in here, and the food seems conspicuous as it seems so fresh. But untouched. My God. Did you want to go back down, Grim?
Yeah, I guess just move by the party. I'm not trying to run ahead. I'm just kind of trying.
No, you're
to
good.
Scout. Like I'm just kind of like impatiently waiting for everybody else to finish checking out this floor.
Yeah, I would like to open this door.
Yep, you're good to open any door on this 1st floor. What's that?
You can just.
No. I've been drinking a little bit. Sorry, wife aggro.
Did you get married since we last talked?
I got married, and I find out my gender for my 1st child tomorrow. So yes.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Nice, congrats.
Nice.
Sorry, questions.
Can I find anything of interest in these 2 rooms here?
Let me bless you.
Bless you.
Sorry.
The dining room is paneled with elegant images of deer amongst trees.
I'm talking about these other 2 rooms right here.
Yeah, let me do the dining room first. Red silk drapes cover the windows and tapestries. That's why you couldn't see in. Observer depicting hunting dogs and horses mounted aristocrats chasing after wolves hanging from an iron rod bolted to the south wall. Inside of the kitchen, there is a dumbwaiter in this corner here, which does gain access in a small space to something up top. So like a small little elevator, like a pulley elevator, basically. The kitchen is tidy with dishware and cookware and utensils neatly placed on shelves. A work table has a cutting board and rolling pin atop it. A stone dome-shaped oven stands near the east wall, its bent ironstone pipe connecting to a hole in the ceiling. Behind the stove and to the left is a thin door revealing to a well-stocked pantry. All the food in the pantry appears fresh.
Okay, I would like to grab some of the food and then.
Sure. I say you can easily take like multiple rations worth of some of the dry goods in here if you wanted. I'd say like probably 3 or 4 days worth if you wanted.
3 or 4, your choice.
4 is good. And then just note that it's from, just call it Rose's house. That's the little girl's name.
I'm gonna go ahead and move up the stairs.
Okay.
Yep, I'm gonna follow.
Okay.
Is there anything in this little broom closet?
Nope. Just some hats, something better for the rain. But other than that,
some brooms.
yeah. I'll put you guys here. So this room. So, suits of armor flank wooden doors on the east and west walls. Each suit of armor is clutching a spear and has a visored helmet like a wolf's head. Pretty unique, kind of cool looking. Red marble staircase starting on the first floor continues upward from here as well.
Shall we start checking doors? Apparently. Anything in this bedroom?
That looks probably, that's where the dumbwaiter goes in that corner again. If you had to guess, this is probably like a maid or like a servant's room. Not much in here. Vimrak, you go into a room that is definitely a library. It's pretty immaculate and nice in here, all things considered. In here, so red velvet drapes cover the windows of this room as well. An exquisite mahogany desk and a matching high back chair face the entrance and the fireplace, above which hangs a framed picture of a windmill perched atop a rocky crag. The windmill is one you recognize from the coat of arms down below. Situated in corners of the room are 2 overstuffed chairs. Floor-to-ceiling bookshelves line the south wall. A rolling wooden ladder allows one or more easily to reach the high shelves.
So that check that I did was trying to scan the shelves for any religious texts I could
So
find.
you're scanning the shelves, and as you do, I'll say that your senses sort of muffle, and you seem to be in almost a trance-like state. As you're going across, you see books that you recognize, you see creatures or characters you recognize, you see authors you recognize, and then you stop. And one of the books says, A History of Toto von Hundenwald.
Oh, that's weird. Is Vemrak next to you're next to me, Vemrak?
Yep.
Vemrak, I'm gonna pick up a book. If I do something weird, hit it out of my hands.
Okay. I ready my axe.
And I pick up the history of Toto von Hundenwald.
What part, start to finish, do you open up first? Very beginning, or do you find a spot in the middle?
I'd probably open it and just open to the table of contents.
Okay. You pull open the book to the tables of contents, and you begin to scroll. You see a table of contents that narrates the entirety of your life, from what you can remember, and even before that at birth, down to a chapter that reads The Rose's House.
And it ends at the Rose's house?
It does. There's text there, but you're on the table of contents still, right?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm looking at the kind of
You're scrolling, so
Yeah,
you
I'm
see.
completely
Yep.
baffled at reading this, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna turn to the first page of that chapter.
Okay. It says, it describes your interaction with the little girl outside. It describes the compassion that you felt for her and the fear that you believed. It described the tentativeness, basically, that the party seemed to have as, this is the first person you've met in this strange land now, if you will. And then it just describes the rooms you've gone through.
I shut the book.
The last thing that is on there, if you want to read till the end of that chapter, it says he pulled the book down off the shelf and began to read, unaware of the creature that watched him from the shadows. Slowly the beast began to creep forward. There is one more page after that page.
Can I do a perception check or a investigation check or something?
Say
If
he
it's
hasn't
anything?
said anything. He's just reading at this point, so you would have no reason to be of any alarm at this point.
Got it.
So there's one.
I close the book
Okay.
and I put it in my pack.
Okay.
And I turn to Vemrak and say, I think the creature in here lives in shadows. I'll explain it later. I don't want to fuck around with that book anymore right now. And I guess, Royce, you would hear that too if you're here. Like, I tell both of you. Like, I come out of the stacks and I'm just like, I've got a weird book. The creature here has something shadow related. We can talk more later, but keep an eye on the shadows.
What are you up to, Observer?
Just kind of standing out here inspecting the armor.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Also, Observer, I swear to God, I haven't read this location. I'm just...
Should we
Very
continue
good.
through the rest of the house?
Yeah,
I just want to check this desk real quick, see if there's anything
Okay.
of note or anything that would.
Roll a perception check. Wow. So you're definitely unsettled by the conversation you just had with Toto. At the same time, though, you're still intrigued by this room, and there seems to be something off additionally other than this so-called shadow figure that has been stated. You start to kind of mill through the desk. It's very ornate. It's very high quality. There's an oil lamp, a jar of ink, a quill pen, a tinderbox, a letter kit, red wax, 4 blank sheets of paper, all of them bearing an insignia, which is a windmill, and under it, it just says Durst, which you'd assume would be the family name if you had to guess based on the parchment. So almost like a stamp of what's it called? Like a, oh my god, I guess not a sign off or like a seal kind of thing.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
call out to the little girl and be like, "Is your last name Durst?"
That echoes down a bit. You don't hear a response from below.
I actually, while he's doing that, I actually light a torch.
Okay. To finish off that perception check, I'm sorry, Vimrak. You scroll to the desk. You kind of come to the conclusion there's nothing really in here. Before that torch is lit, you sense a flicker of there's no light in here. You just have dark vision, huh?
Yeah, everything's in grayscale too. Physical or on the actual map.
Yeah. You find a key, Vimrak. It's an iron key, rather heavy duty. You haven't come across any locked doors, but it's something that you could definitely grab and save for that point.
Okay, I will pick up the iron key.
Okay. Go ahead, Toto.
So I'm lighting a torch. Basically, the shadow thing kind of, like, I can see, but because of the things stalking me in shadow, I am lighting a torch.
Okay.
So functionally, I have light out to 40 feet around me.
Bright light, 40 feet.
Like, you don't have to adjust the token, but just like if we're in a room where...
Well, I will for them because now he can
Okay.
see in color. Others can see in color now.
I can still see in color, so I don't know if that's...
You can. Because they don't have the same vision?
We can figure that.
Either way.
I'll talk to you later about it.
However, the torch in here brightens up this room in a way that stands out. From the area that the... How do I say this? You get a... no, you light a torch. That's fine. Sorry.
All right.
Alright, I would like to open this door here.
Okay. Where are you at? Oh, there you are. Gotcha. There is a fire in here going.
Going.
Yes. Upholstered chairs line the walls, and stained glass wall hangings depict beautiful men, women, and children singing and playing instruments. Basically, this is an elegant hall with brass-plated chandelier and a piano in the corner.
Are those windows in the
Staircase?
bottom?
Yes. They have drapes over them.
Does this staircase go up more?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Hey, chat, are you looking at my stream?
No. Too much. I am now. What's up?
I don't know if these two doors right here and here.
Oh,
See
that's an extra door. I don't know why that's there.
That's the dumbwaiter door, right?
This one is down here. There's a dumbwaiter. I don't know why the other one's up there.
Okay, cool.
Gotta check them walls.
I'd like to make my way up the staircase and see what I can peek up
Okay.
the next floor.
Is there anything in this?
Bottom
What-
right.
What is this little closet? Is there anything in here? In the
That. Let me see. Looks like there's probably like servants' uniforms in here. If you had to guess, this is like most likely like a maid's room or a servant's room.
Okay. I'll follow Royce up the stairs.
Okay.
I'll be casting Shalalala.
Okay.
Keep on going.
So this will be weird because I
Shillelagh?
have to. I don't know how I'm supposed to fucking drag you guys now. Okay, I need to drag you here.
Here, a trick. You can also delete our tokens and just drag new ones out.
Drag them on. Let me just.
I mean, it
this.
sucks, but you can do it.
Yeah, it's just sketchy.
I'll try to find that teleport mod because I don't need it for my game, but I think for this game it might be good.
Any idea why my cantrip would say I have no uses left? It says no available uses remaining. I have infinite cantrips.
So I'm gonna put you in
I don't know.
the room. I'm not sure, Observer. All of you have sight now?
Yep.
Okay. God, this is hard to read.
So I got 2 doors at the bottom left corner right here.
Yes, and then there's additional doors up here. So hold on before you move here.
I do not see a door there, but I do see a little bit of light peeking through. in this
Okay.
corner.
So this is the top. So let me describe this better. Sorry, this area can be overwhelming because it's just so many fucking rooms. As you guys start to climb to this third floor, the staircase does not go any further. Decay, mold, and just a complete disregard for any kind of upkeep sets in every step of the way up. It's crazy how nice and immaculate the bottom 2 floors are, and up here it's borderline destruction, falling apart. The walls up here seem that they have not been upkept at all. The floors you're walking on are ripped and torn. The chandelier up here was a nice patina, and now it's just completely almost like molded over and just gross. So everything up here is rather dramatically under appreciated, if you will. Here, only noticeable thing in this room, except for the complete disregard for upkeep, is another suit of armor here as well. Other than that, you've additional hallway with 2 doors here and then 2 doors over here as well.
I'm getting a weird feeling on this floor. Van Mac, you want to take the lead?
Will do.
You want me in
So
second?
the upkeep is over here. So first up is here.
All right. Do I notice anything? Just looking at the suit of armor, anything special about it? Do I notice anything off about it?
You roll a perception check.
I'm gonna re-bless him for initiative.
Okay.
Whoa.
It's unarmed, but it is that looks like all the rest. It's ornate. It has a wolf helmet as well. Nothing abnormal.
Okay.
Does anybody else see a weird thing on me?
I saw something.
Okay.
That was the bless. As you move here, we are going to start combat.
Oh shit!
I'm
Crash
on
and see
top
if I
of a
can get-
thing.
How do I roll initiative?
It's under attributes, but do you want to add us all to combat first?
I don't know how to do that.
So just grab. So if you, the easiest way is to box select everybody, and then that little sword and shield. Click on that for combat state for everyone.
Okay, and then combat. Okay.
And then we'll all be in the little fist.
Oh, I see the HP now.
Oh, it's under utility. Roll
And then
initiative.
begin combat. Oh, I should end combat.
Yeah.
Wait.
How do I roll initiative? Sorry.
Utility.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm sorry. I fucked up.
So if you go to the little, well,
Yeah,
there's
just give me this tech.
there's a couple
Give me this
ways.
tech to figure it out.
If you look at the little fist in the menu on the left or on the right, there'll be a die next to your character.
Okay.
I'm pissed about that, by the way. I had a 20 last time.
How do I change it? Can I do that or no?
Maybe if you double click. I'm not sure.
I can't.
It's okay.
Server, I'll roll for you.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out my cantrip thing.
You're good.
because
I
it's
rolled.
broken.
Okay.
And then if you want to start the round, hit begin combat at the bottom.
Now I do that. Okay, now it starts the timer and everything else.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys creep up, the darkness and the eeriness, it's very unsettling, the fact that how beautiful everything was down below and just how completely abandoned everything up here seems. The suit of armor sort of lunges out. You guys were somewhat aware of it, so I won't do a surprise round on either side. But it will move here, and then it's going to try and throw you down the staircase, Grim. So I need you to roll me a athletics or an acrobatics, whatever you think is best.
Can I kind of put my hands out to try and steady him?
Not at this point, just because you'd need to use that for like a help. And then I am going to, like, if you had a turn and you wanted to like stop that from happening preemptively, but at this point, no. Athletics. Yikes. What did you get? A 4. Perfect. So he is going to basically grab you, and he's going to do what's called shove, which is he can move you basically 5 feet in any direction. He's going to decide to do this direction, and you are going to fall down all of those stairs. So it's 1d6 damage per 10 feet. We'll say these are about, which health do you have? Yikes. About, 30 feet up? So let's do 3d6. Hopefully not murder you in one hit.
How do you see everyone else's HP? Can we not see that?
I don't know if
For each
you
other?
guys can.
No worries.
That's unacceptable.
I think I can turn on, like, image, position, resources. Always for everyone. Attributes, HP, update. Like that.
I see mine.
Okay. Resources, always.
Oh, now I see a green
Him,
bar.
right?
Oh, hey. I'm on mute. You'll want to do that on the prototype token after the session.
I'll have to do all this again.
Yeah.
I see Vimrak, Royce, and Observer. I do not see. Okay, there we
There
go.
we go. I just had to do them all individually.
Well, once you set up the prototype token, it'll always do it.
Oh, that's good. D6, 3? No.
What
3,
the fuck?
D6.
Why can't I use cantrips?
And I'm dead.
Yikes.
I'm unconscious on the ground below.
Grim falls over. You hear a scream as this animated armor comes over, grabs him, and throws him off the staircase. He plummets down, and there's silence at the bottom of the stairs. Armor is going to look over at you, Royce, with not a smile, but let's just say a look of happiness, and he is going to slam for, does 14 hit?
AC of 15.
Okay, so he's going to try and slam you, and that is going to miss. That is his turn. He is now just large and in charge and control at the top of this staircase. Observer, you're up. You just saw your friend get flung off of a staircase and die.
Well, I'm not
die,
dead
right?
yet, but I need to make death saving throws
unconscious.
starting.
I can only hope.
So I'm just
Hope
gonna
you got a
sit down.
backup character.
Well, it's Observer's turn.
Yeah, so how many feet down the steps is it?
It's about 30.
Well, he's only halfway up.
Yeah, for me, right as I am. How
You can do normal movement around. There's a new thing built in where you can hold your token and you can click. There's a new mod. You see that?
Oh, nice. But
Yep.
I can't do it because I will go through all the walls.
What do you mean?
He's
So
at the
I'm-
bottom of the staircase. We are 3 flights up.
Oh, you're trying to go down to him.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were trying to go up. Oh, fuck. So it's like 35 feet per level. Let's say that. Let's just call it 30 feet per level. So if you want to get down to the bottom, you can do one, what's it called? Like run action?
Dash.
Dash, yeah. My intention wasn't actually to kill somebody. So I'll give you a dash down to the bottom.
I mean,
Because at some point you could just like jump off the side too.
does the animated armor have multi-attack?
It does.
Wow.
But he's only halfway up, right? So it would only be like 15, like 17 and a half.
This is the
feet.
third floor.
He
Oh,
threw
he's
me down the
all
center
the
of
way
the
down.
stairwell.
Yeah,
I
this is the
gotcha,
third
I gotcha,
floor.
I gotcha.
So he's got to go down this one and then another one and then a half one. So I'm being nice with the overall one dash all the way down.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm gonna yell out to the allies. I'm gonna go save him. And I will go to the bottom. What's a new shot?
I'm going to keep you here because I don't want to keep moving you guys through these things with the current setup. But we'll just assume that you're like right here, but down below and you guys are right next to each other. Is that fair?
Sure.
Cool.
And if I'd use a run for that, right?
That's your full movement, but they use as an action as well.
Yeah, that's
So,
what I mean. That's
yep.
the run is that. Okay.
yeah, a dash.
Then that's the end of my turn.
Royce, you're up.
Okay, so if I move here, he will not get an attack of opportunity, correct?
Yeah, because you're still within range.
Okay, so first I'm going to look down at Toto.
Okay.
And I'm just going to kind of grumble, like, well, glad we brought him along.
Oh,
And then I'm going to move over here,
Oh, wait. If you move where?
right here.
What did before?
Yeah, you're good. Sorry, there's so much on my screen right now. I may need to get rid of the...
No, you're good. Okay,
The
I still,
nameplates.
for some reason, the short sword is not equipped. I don't know how to make
That's
that
fine.
permanently equipped.
Don't worry about it.
Last time,
Go to
You
your
let me-
inventory
No,
and
you
just
could-
click the little T-shirt button.
yeah.
Yeah, equip
Okay, there
means
we
you're actively using it, not that it's not in your bag.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll a short sword attack.
A 16... misses.
What?
Okay, that's me.
All right.
Vimrak, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna take a swing with my great axe.
Okay.
Oof.
Both of those miss.
All right, that's me.
The death saving throws.
That's a flat 20, right?
Yeah. I think it's like over under, right?
Yeah, I think it's 11 plus or a 10 minus.
Let me check.
Nice.
Combat.
I think it's 3 saves or 3 fails.
Conditions. Yeah, I think you stabilize. Dropping to 0. Death saving throws. You roll 1d20 when you make a 1d20. It counts as 2 failures. If you roll a 20, you regain 1 hit point.
So I have
9 and below counts as a failure. 10 and above counts as a success. If you roll 3 failures before 3 successes, you die. If you accrue 3 successes, you are stabilized.
So I've
There
got
we
1
go.
success.
Cool.
Jesus.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I had to
You're good.
re-import my character to get my spells to work.
Thanks. Okay. And animated armor is up. He is going to move here. And he is going to roll me an athletics check.
Wait, you get an attack of opportunity?
Oh shit, I do. Fuck. Then Rat, go ahead. Remember my first time DMing.
What? Why am I? When I click on the Great Axe, it's automatically rolling. I thought it was supposed to like move it to the chat,
It
and
was
then I
before,
roll
but I think it's because we're in combat right now.
because
But
I need
the-
to. I need to roll the attack twice because it's rolling
you
attack
don't.
and damage.
No, that's fine. See, the thing is it's rolling the damage, but the damage, if the attack doesn't go through, it doesn't matter.
It's trying to save time by rolling everything at once.
Yeah,
Okay, so I just have
it's
to
because
roll
we're in
this
combat. It's actually working properly. You don't have to roll twice. What are you doing?
because we have disadvantage because we have exhaustion.
No, that's
No,
only
it's
for
counting.
skills.
Oh, okay.
A 13 misses. It's going to move over here. Royce, go ahead and roll me a athletics check.
Sure thing. Ah.
Wow. Wait, why is that?
You can't toss him off the cliff.
Yeah.
You can move him to the old statue spot. Oh, are you shoving?
Yeah, I'm shoving. I'm gonna move you. Actually, no, it doesn't work. You guys didn't see that roll, right? It's GM
Nope.
only. Cool. Because I have to metagame this. I don't kill the entire party. He is going to lunge at you. You're going to very dexterously move out of the way and say "fuck you," and then he is going to attack you with a slam. Let me see.
It's gonna miss.
You said a 15. That misses as well. So the slam you dodge as well. That's his turn. Observer, you're up.
I'm gonna. No, never mind.
As he slams too, like it breaks this door behind you and just opens that up. You see like a small closet, if you will, a storage room. Inside, dusty shelves. A few shelves have folded sheets, blankets, and old bars of soap on them. They're all crumpled up and cobweb covered. The door kind of breaks whenever the animated armor tries to attack you. Cure Light wounds, 10 hit points. Great. He's up.
I'm gonna move as far back up as I can.
And from there, also, you can get back to the top. You can get in combat, staying where you are. And you can get anywhere on this. You can get anywhere on this staircase
Wait,
with.
I had to run all the way down.
Yes,
but
no, you have to run again. You have to run again.
No,
I'm
that's
saying
what
you-
I'm saying. I just use an action, so I can't run.
Oh, gotcha. So we'll say on the second floor. My bad. Cool. That's it.
Yep.
Okay, Royce, you're up. 18 hits and 10 damage. Damn. Perfect.
And
You hear
while
like
I
a-
do that, I'm gonna put my thumbs in my ears and kind of wiggle them around while I stick my tongue out.
Perfect. Classic
Roll
mature
a performance
approach.
check.
Yeah. Intimidation. It runs in fear. Perfect. Anything else?
I am going to move. Oh, I didn't mean to open that door.
That's fine.
I'm gonna move right there.
Okay. Vermac, you're up.
As long as I stay within his attack range, I don't take a attack. Of
Yeah. If you scoot around him, you're good.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna move into melee range with them
Okay.
and take a swing of my great axe.
Come on. You better not have hit me, dude.
Roll dexterity saving throw.
Oh my god, I shouldn't have said anything. Are you talking about me?
No, Vimrak.
Okay.
Dude, you're gonna throw me off the fucking stairs.
I'm not throwing you anywhere, bro. Okay. So you swing heavy right to left, character view, trying to just almost like with enough force to push this thing off the stairwell that you just saw your newly found friend go flying off of, and luckily saw Observer run down there and hopefully save him. However, it's a little more dexterous than you expected as it slightly moves out of the way and you go swinging wildly towards the staircase. However, a foot goes off the now partially broken railing because it already threw one person off, and you catch your footing before you almost slip off the edge yourself. So anything else?
No.
All right. Toto, how you feeling?
I feel great now. So, question here: if I
Uh-huh.
get mechanics, if I get up behind Observer on the second floor,
Mhm.
can I cast Bless and
never mind.
chain it to everybody?
How does that work? Is it AoE?
It's a 30-foot range to hit somebody, or it's anybody within range. It doesn't say.
Sure. If you're up one more level, that's fine in this situation. I'm fine with that.
So
Because you have
I'm-
plenty of extra movement
Yeah,
on
I'm
it,
like,
basically.
well, I'm slow, just so you know. Like I
Oh,
can-
what's your full movement?
20, so I can get like to the second level probably. Is my guess.
Like barely. Why don't you roll an athletics check if you want to try and just climb up partially, and then get kind of behind Observer. But if it's bad, I might just have you fall off. Is that fair? Or you can just run up. That's enough. So you kind of like climb up the railing there. You're just in as much of a hurry as you can, and then you get like maybe 10 or not 10, like 5 feet behind Observer. From that position, I'll say you can still get a bless up and around.
Yep.
Yep, that's fine.
So I'm gonna bless.
Okay.
That's gonna use one slot. Everybody can choose to add 1d4 to an attack roll.
Okay.
In the next minute.
Awesome. Just
Do I
one
have-
time, right?
Yeah, it's a one-time thing, but everybody, well, whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the attack or save, and it lasts for a minute. So everybody can basically add 1d4 to one attack or save per whenever, I guess.
You
Actually,
don't
I
know
have to-
when you're making the attack roll, right?
Y'all know what time it is.
Oh my god, Tommy.
Do I need to designate that before I roll the attack roll or after?
I know sometimes it says you can choose whenever, and this one doesn't.
it doesn't
like-
really matter because you can do it for whenever you make an
That's
attack or
true.
a save. So basically, any of your attacks or saves, you can add 1d4 to.
Yeah. So if you roll it, you don't hit it, you need it, you can do it. Because it wouldn't matter if you did it before or after anyway.
Yep.
Give us one more, T-Nugs. One more.
Another one?
One more.
Oh my god.
Damn it.
You got it in you, buddy. Come on. Come on.
Yeah. I have no bonus action, so that's my turn.
Get it,
Heard
son.
you.
Get it, son.
Go, Cheddar, go.
Cool. So that was.
And now imagine if I could add another 1d4. and
Wait,
you
why am I
want-
at the top of the. Oh, because you just went. Oh, can
Yeah.
you skip your own turn, or do I have to do it?
I hit the end turn button.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Gotcha. I didn't know you could do that. Cool.
Clock's
So,
ticking, Shatner.
Run out of time.
Thimrak, roll me an athletics check.
Proud of you, bro.
God damn it.
Oh,
Wow.
fuck. All right.
Carry
That's,
on,
on,
Carry
that's over.
So it tries to reach out and grab you and throw you over. It misses. In doing so, it now tries to slam you. What's your AC?
15.
One of these days I'll get this. Oh my god. Can you guys can't see these rolls?
No.
Nope.
Um
Shatner trying not to TPK.
No,
Is
I'm
it-
not. I'm rolling like shit. I'm actually trying not to make this go one. It's gonna fall prone as it now falls in trying to levy as much damage as possible. So it is now prone in front of all of you. As it sort of tried to do a slam itself and ended up sort of reversing that process, if you will.
Now, range
You
attacks
played
are at
yourself.
disadvantage.
Range attacks get disadvantage, and melee attacks get advantage, I believe.
Ranged attacks that are within 5 feet don't get
Don't.
disadvantage.
Okay,
It actually
Cool.
just
Right.
cancels out because ranged. Whatever. It's
because it's the melee
Move.
range,
'cause
negative
it's-
or whatever.
It's the
that
rules are
corner.
dumb.
And I'm going to use Thorn Whip.
Okay. Oh, fuck you, dude. Oh no.
And I'm going to go ahead and fuck 13. So that's a.
You gotta hit it. You
can
can
add
get
one
it.
D4.
D4. Yeah.
Okay.
So 1.
You need a 4.
Yeah, I figured.
You son of a bitch.
There you go. Get it, son.
I'm pulling it
Get
up.
it, son.
Okay.
I'm
let
gonna
me-
pull it
I hate
right
this thing.
over there. He's
10
already
feet
moved.
closer to you.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
gonna
not
move
in
him
the
down there.
stairwell anymore. Just so it's worth it.
Oh my god. Fine.
Yeah,
now I'm just-
take your
now it's an-
2d6 damage.
Now it's an accurate fucking that's an accurate sign for it. Yes.
Come on.
Nope.
Yes.
Bullshit.
That's why I wanted to roll it in public. Yes. All right, it's at the bottom of the stairs. You guys can't see its health, can you?
No.
No. Okay, cool. Anything else, Observer? You guys all got to run back down there,
I
No,
don't.
I'm good.
right? I know.
Glad I changed my cantrips before we started.
Yeah, bless is fucking strong.
Oh
And
no,
that
that's
whip
no
is
that I
fucking
have.
stupid.
Hey, bless is what I'm here for, guys. Make shit happen.
Yeah, Sterling wants it to be a little more potent, but hey, seems good. That's it, Observer.
Oh wait, I didn't
I
even
want,
roll
I want
twice.
that blessing of the
Oh,
white
I
girl.
should have rolled twice on the attack. Fuck. I forgot the disadvantage part.
Wait, do we
Oh.
have disadvantage?
What would you have
I
decided?
did because it was ranged. You want me to roll it again?
No, you're fine.
Click on it?
It's funny. Fuck this guy. I already threw one of you off. Least it can do is get thrown itself. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Royce, you're up.
Okay, so if I move here first of all?
Ideally, no,
You-
but if you're trying to shoot down, you can shoot down. It's fine.
You can move
go right
through an
here.
ally, but you can't land on
You can't
an
end your
ally.
turn in the space. Yeah.
Okay, so you want me to move here and then shoot down?
Or either side. If that's what you're trying to do is shoot down, then yes.
So now I'm gonna shoot down.
Okay.
Why is it rolling 2?
It's roll and then it's damage.
Yeah, I got
It'd
8
be rolling
misses.
Again. Yeah. Because it's still disadvantage. No, it's rolling too because it's also rolling damage. Oh yeah, not disadvantage. That's all.
yeah, that's weird. It didn't do that last time.
I don't think you have
Yeah,
disadvantage from an angle though, because
There's
it's
a-
actually
No,
easier.
it's doing it this time because we're actually in combat. Before when Shatter did it, we weren't actually in combat.
So
Than
the-
one that we did.
There's a mod that I had Shatner install that just it like rolls all your stuff at once, so it just in theory speeds play up.
Gotcha. I may have added it since I don't know. But
This is the
anything
better
else,
rolls
Royce?
mod.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sorry, that's it.
That's it. You have movement still. You're good.
Yep, I'm good.
Vimrak, you're up.
I have a walking speed of 30. Can I make it down the stairs to get within melee range within one turn?
I could.
You can jump off this, fall off this, hit that, and then sure. If you want to do that.
Okay.
You just need like a pretty easy acrobatics check just to not like fall off.
But it's going to be acrobatics with disadvantage, right?
Yep.
I gotta take a quick leak. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it would be.
All right, I'm just going to...
I'm saying easy as in like that's like an actual like word for it. So the DC is not going to be high at all.
All right, I'll try it.
Only one.
Also, is there any way to get rid of your turn that's continuously scrolling across the screen?
No,
What was that?
because it's telling it's
It's
your
a-
turn next.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Well, the little red bar is your turn timer.
he
No, it
means
says
like
in middle of
the
screen. It says your turn.
shooting across the screen.
Oh, you can adjust those,
I
Shatner.
think it's before he like acts maybe because now it's gone. Yeah, that's fine. So you basically like jump to this part, and you were effectively where Observer was to start, and now you can do a dash to get down. But you won't have an action, but you'll be within melee range.
Okay, I'll do that. Please.
Cool. I'm just gonna put you here just for the reasons of not wanting to move everybody over again. Anything else?
Nope. I can't attack this turn, right?
Yep. So Toto, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna Sacred Flame this guy.
All right. From 4 to 1. Brutal. Dexterity saving. No, that's the wrong one. That doesn't matter. It's gonna miss. It's gonna take 1 radiant damage.
Well, that was annoying.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Back.
That's an action. Bonus action is useless. Yeah, I think that's my turn. I don't really want to get too much closer to it.
Okay. The armor is up. He was prone already, so it's going to
Half
take a
movement.
movement. It's half movement to stand up.
Yep.
Okay. So he is going to. He's going to attack you, Vim, because you're actually in range. So he is going to slam. Wow. Okay, not natural. Floor. 4 bludgeoning damage. And then he is going to do. Let me see that attack again. Yikes. 6 is going to miss. So just 4 bludgeoning damage. And he is going to. He's going to move 1 step here. Just so he's like out of. Like, he's going to force the ranger and stuff to like move around to hit him. But that's it. So he's not actually on that floor, but he's down below in that area. Everyone understand that?
Yeah, how many
Okay.
feet down is that?
It's about 30 from the top. They're about 10-foot floors. So,
Is that now?
and then,
My turn?
yep, you're up.
I'll move down here. So from here, is it 30
You could
feet
still-
hit?
Oh, what floor are you on? You're on the 3rd, huh? Doesn't matter.
yeah.
You can still see him.
Cool. In that case, I'll go ahead and Thorn Whip.
Oh God, Jesus. Okay. I don't think
Come
I
up.
took the damage for your whip last time. Actually, 6. I didn't take that.
Oh.
-6, and then how much now? -4.
Yeah, just 4 damage.
So
And I'll
10.
pull him back to the center area.
Fucking asshole. Okay.
Like that.
Anything
He's
else?
not prone anymore. So can you use the
Yes,
icon?
you're right. Thank you.
That's the end of my turn.
Okay, Royce, you're up.
Okay, first I'm gonna spit down on him.
Okay, you guys are.
Kit roll dexterity.
Yeah, I know you spit on observer.
Fuck.
I'm gonna take a longbow attack.
Okay. 19 hits, 10 points. You can describe your first animated kill.
let's just put it right between the eyes.
All right. Right between the old, yep, right in that little slit. That's perfect. How do you kill them?
Just delete them.
Right between the eyes.
Yeah. How do you kill them? Right between the eyes. Combat drops. It's now a much different scene here. You don't hear much now as the battle sort of calms down. You're still in between floors here, uneasy, as that was quite a surprise. And Toto, that was quite the fall there.
I'm gonna healing hands for one on the barb,
Okay.
and I'm at about my limit.
Yeah, I figured it was about that time. So everybody write some notes for what went on. We do like a quick overview at the beginning of every turn, but hope you guys had fun. I wanted to get in here at least this session, and we did it. So any glaring questions or issues story-wise or anything you guys are wondering about before we end?
How is that like for a pace in terms of like how we're moving?
That's really for me. I'm fine with it. You guys are engaged. If you guys move slower or faster than what I anticipate, I'm not upset with that. I just want involvement. My other crew is about 2 people involved and 3 people that are not. So it's like a warlock, I think. He's like Eldritch Blast, and that's it. And then it's the other guy is like here and gone, and it's that's what turns me off to the experience. If you guys had fun, or if you guys want me to do stuff different, let me know. There's a shit ton of mods on this, obviously. My plan going forward is to do sessions of this length. If I can find an extra slot in time to do it, I will. But I want to get like the loot going in here, where it's like when something dies, I can just show that with NPC loot. And this house, if you will, is kind of like an intro to Strahd. Like, here's the intro to the horror theme, basically. So I think pacing was fine. You guys got in here and got stuff done. So there's obviously a lot more to go. But yeah, it should be fun. I like this house a lot.
Cool. Thanks for running, man.
Yeah, for sure. We'll keep you guys posted, and obviously we'll do any updates, and that's our own chat, obviously. So any min-max or changes you guys want to make, just run them by me. It should be fine.
Yeah, thank you very much
Yep.
for doing this chat.
For
I did
sure.
have a couple questions for you.